And we're back. Not in the same room, but we are indeed back for the, well, this is going to be a difficult one, isn't it? We should talk about it. We're having technical difficulties. We're apart, we're not together. But, yeah. So we'll just jump into it. We talked about the Warhammer reveals, didn't we? We recorded that last week when those happened.
Yeah, did that in person, didn't we?
We did indeed, and that was fun. So you're going to hear a plethora of opinions and observations that we had about that. Hopefully,
plenty of excitement.
Very excitement.
Yeah,
very excitement.
Very excitement.
Oh mate, it's been a long week.
It has. Yeah, we're doing this later than normal on a different night to normal,
and there's been a whole slew. So I've said slew several times of issues that we've had. But you know, we did hang out last night. We were going to record it, weren't we? But instead, we just spent like 5 hours talking about Warhammer and not recording it.
Yeah, but a good time was had.
It was, and there was lots of interesting conversation.
Yeah, which I guess is probably going to bleed over into this.
I'm kind of hoping it will, like, it was good fun.
Yeah, you mentioned a couple of things that really got me thinking, so I'll probably bring that back up at the right time, but it'll come up naturally. But
Warhammer flavored vomit.
I mean, that's a disgusting thought, but but yeah, I mean, we've already sort of kept the structure for the World Championship reveals. We've already spoken about that, so I think we're just going to kind of have a bit of a casual chat, aren't we?
Sounds like a plan. Yeah. Let's do it. Should we just jump on in and have that, as they say? All right, let's do it. It's reveal day. Reveal day is happening, and okay, we're going to talk about this. We're going to do it now.
Yeah, we have literally just watched this.
I'm super excited. I'm not going to lie, dude. I mean, you know, you were literally sat next to me. I'm pretty excited. I know you're pretty excited.
Yeah, I'm still kind of digesting what we've seen and what we've heard, but yeah, we've got a lot to talk about here, haven't we?
We really do. And well, I'm not going to spoil anything. Let's just get into it. Dark Water. First thing, Dark Water.
It was. So, all right. Initial thoughts on what you've seen?
Well, I'm now excited for it. I wasn't excited, and now I'm excited. It's just like, oh my days, those Nurgle sculpts are just like...
Has Nurgle sold it for you?
It has. It's disgustingly good.
So, okay. Do you want to go through some of the new Nurgle stuff, or what?
Well, I mean, let's talk about the game overall first. I mean, I wasn't excited about it. I kind of was, and I kind of wasn't, and I was erring on the side of caution that what had been shown, I wasn't going to be into, and I was a little bit like, I'm not into the box art. We've talked about it a couple of times. I'm not feeling the box art.
Yeah.
I didn't like the Manticore Knight's silly helmet. I didn't like the direction the sculpts were taking, looking a little bit too old worldy and boring for me. But then, out of nowhere, now we don't have the potato can footage. They showed the new heroes, and oh my days, that ogre dude, I'm there for him. I'm like 100% that is who I will be maining. Him alongside, was it the Jade Wizard with his little fox and his little owl on his shoulder? That guy is looking, oh mate,
Jacobus Vine, was it?
Yes, let's go with that.
The Jade Wizard with his spite spirit.
Yes,
I think that's
I'm down for it. I thought those looked really, really good. The Kernoth Hunter chap, yeah, all right, it's a
Elfenor the Forest Prince, I believe.
Yeah, elf, so less bothered.
I really liked that. The new Kernothy one.
Yeah. Did you think he's going to be one of the ones you're going to take?
Potentially. I'll have to read up some of the rules, but yeah, I'd really like the sculpt actually.
Yeah.
On face value, but what was the ogre beast thing? I've written.
I don't know. I can't remember his name.
Dreshovon, the rampaging beast.
I think of the sculpts, I think he's the weakest one.
Yeah.
I think in terms of detail, it looks totally different. I don't know if it was a different artist, perhaps, but I think he's my favorite.
Yeah.
It looks remarkably simple comparatively to the other ones. The other ones, other than like Galadriel or whatever she's called, the one that is clearly like Galadriel.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. We talked about her in the last episode.
Yes, the Water Witch lady.
Yeah. It's funny you say Galadriel for her, because I immediately thought of Beorn from The Hobbit for Dreshovon.
I mean, there's clear inspiration here, isn't there? Come on, I mean, there is.
Jacobus Vine, Radagast,
maybe 100%.
Yeah.
I tell you, I mean, I think they picked up on it in the reveal that he's not stood on the ground. He's stood on like the vines coming out of the ground.
He's also barefoot.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
I really like that sculpt. I mean, I really liked it.
He's got did he have was it an owl on his shoulder?
Yeah.
That's cool. And his little spite spirit.
That's it.
Or was it fox?
Fox / wolf.
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, it might be a fox, but I'm going to say it's a wolf because wolf's
Yeah.
cooler.
Yeah. And it was green.
But yeah, it was. I really liked it. The painting style is very different as well.
Yeah, we said that, didn't we? Yeah, a lot of the I mean, I think the painting style for a lot of what we saw in the reveal across the board looked quite different to the
Yeah.
standard heavy metal style, which
100%.
I really liked. I mean, we'll get to that as we go, but yeah, tell me, what do you think of the painting style on the Nurgle guys then?
Oh mate, what they showed was stunning. And
Should probably preface this with saying that you have spent a lot of time painting AOS Nurgle models.
I have.
Like, to a very high standard, I would say.
Oh, cheers, dude. Yeah, and it looks like we're going to be painting some more Nurgle again, doesn't it now? But we'll get onto that after we've talked about the Dark Water stuff, I suppose. Yeah, the painting style is very different. It's way more horrific, and I think it kind of works more in this context of it. And it's made me really excited for this setting now. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm going to assume I can't play as the bad guys, but if I could play as the bad guys, I absolutely would.
Yeah, I don't think of that actually. Might be a way we could reverse engineer something, maybe. No?
I don't know. I don't think there's going to be for it. But yeah, I mean, I think they look fantastic. The Pestigors,
Yep.
looked cracking. The treasure token ones, I were really taken up with.
Yeah, they were cool. That was the one. It was a sword,
Uh-huh.
sort of in, and there was a big eye. Was the sword in
That's
the
right.
eye?
I think the sword was in the eye, and then there was like one was an axe with a tentacle wrapped around it or something. That looked very, very.
I like. Yeah, I mean, whoever did that paint job on the one with the eye almost looked watery.
Yeah,
It was really cool.
It was really good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Randomly, I think that was one of the ones that looked most similar to the normal
Yeah.
Games Workshop heavy metal style.
Yeah, yeah. It was more. The paints were a bit brighter and a bit more pronounced, whereas with the rest of it, it looked a lot darker. A lot more. I think I said. I can't remember the words I used, but it was to the effect that it looked a bit more of a grown-up approach,
Yeah.
more mature approach, which kind of leans into what we like about this hobby. So
It does. I wonder if some of that was influenced by the more realistic proportions of the sculpts as well, because it does feel like, as we said, the heroes looked like they were coming more from the old world style of sculpting that we've seen in Grand Cathay and the newer releases from that. And I wonder if some of that more exaggerated paint style that we see in heavy metal for the heroic proportions has kind of given way to this. 'Cause, like, one of the things that we both noticed as well was more prolific use of things like gradients.
Yeah.
That tend to be, I mean, you see them on some of the high-end GW heavy metal models, but I think for aspirational purposes, they tend to keep away from that because it's quite a hard thing for a novice to do.
oh yeah, absolutely.
So they kind of keep heavy metal high-end, but fairly simple techniques, whereas
It's not unattainable, is it? It doesn't look unattainable.
exactly, yeah, it's got that aspirational vibe to it, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Whereas these felt, I mean, some of the stuff on the Nurgle releases that we'll get to after this were just like really high-end stuff, which I really enjoyed. I mean, they looked more horrific, but
I saw your eyes light up when they were coming up on the screen.
yeah, I was excited. I mean, I think the only thing from the Dark Water stuff that I've not particularly found compelling was the standard hero characters, other than I'm starting to come around to the idea of the dwarf. That looks cool. Now that we've seen, like, I don't know if it was like a size issue of seeing it on a much bigger screen and I can appreciate that sculpt more now. Those and the weird, like, Nighthaunt looking Nurgle minion things that were coming out of the swamp.
Oh, yeah, the Maya Kelpies.
Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah, they had that
too into
skull.
those.
The skull that the what are they in the Nighthawk range with the horse's skull with the bears?
Is it Caradrons? No,
No, it's gonna bug me now. I've got some at home.
yes, you do. I can't remember what they're called. They're not the Grimghast, are they?
No, I don't know. You know which ones I mean.
Horsey Speary Spirit.
Yes,
No.
stabby guys. But yeah, it looked very similar to
Stabby guys.
stab guys. Stab guy. Yeah. That's gonna bug me what they're called. Anyway,
Shiv Ghost.
it doesn't matter. But yeah, Maya Kelpies in this box is what we're
Yeah.
saying. Yeah, I thought, yeah, they look okay. They don't really stand out to me.
Yeah, they were the
You
weak.
don't think? I don't know it's a poster though, are they? Because they made a point of saying they're just kind of like chaff. That's the word I was after. Yeah.
They're an annoyance unless they swarm you, I suppose. Same as some of the other stuff. But yeah, I thought they were the weakest points along with the quartet of heroes that they originally released. Speaking on the heroes, there's only 7 of them.
Yeah, that's true, unless the Spite Spirit has its own rule set, which I can't imagine it does.
Well, it said him and the Spite Spirit, but I wonder if him, what's his name, the Jade Wizard and the Spite Spirit. I wonder if they
Jacob's Line, I think it was.
Yes. I wonder if it's going to be a similar mechanic to Rouse and Rain as it was in the old Blackstone Fortress, where you took them as one hero, but they were two independent controllable characters, but they took, well, because they were the Rattling Twins.
Okay, I'll take your word for that.
So it might be something like that, but there was still 8 characters in Blackstone Fortress, whereas this has only got 7. So I don't know. Shrinkflation, no pun intended.
Maybe so. I mean, to be fair, it looked like it's quite heavily weighted with the opposition models in that boss, doesn't it? It looks like you get a fair.
I was surprised at the amount of differentiation in there, because you got the Kelpies, then you've got the Pestigor. Oh no, you've got the Kelpies, and then the Pox Walker new
Pox Stretchers. The
Pox Stretchers
look like the zombies.
Yeah,
Is that them?
They looked really nice.
They did. And then you've got your
Pestigors, and then you've got your Blight King proxy. Blight Swords were they called, or something?
Blight Templars.
Blight Templars.
Blight Templars.
And then there's the Captainy one. And then there's...
Was that Mulgoth the Cleaver? Or was he in the American range?
I'm not sure.
I can't remember.
But I know yeah. And then we got the Big Bad, and then we got the Witcher Lady, didn't we? That you didn't like.
Who was the Big Bad? Was that Gelvis Pust?
Yeah, that was the guy whose head looked a little bit too small.
Yes, and then the Witchy Lady was Belga the Sister Witch.
Yes.
I wasn't a big fan of that, but you like that one.
I really liked that, yeah.
Excuse me.
I really liked her. I'm surprised you didn't like her.
I think it's fair to say that you are more of a fan of Nurgle than me. I'm not a huge fan of the Nurgle aesthetic across Warhammer, in AOS, in 40k, in anything. It's never really been the one that I've lent towards.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can appreciate these models, and I get why you like them, but yeah, that's not what excited me about this. I like the idea of the setting. I like seeing more. I like the idea of fighting against Nurgle rather than, yeah, you know what I mean? Because I'm not a fan of them. I quite like that they're the enemy to beat.
Yeah.
If you're with me. But all right. Well, what do you think about the book?
I'm there for it. Yeah. So I mean, I think we talked about it when we talked about this before. And it looked like it was going to be a map book. So
yeah, but it's been confirmed now.
Yeah, and it looks like it's going to open flat. I mean, that was the main concern I think we had, and a lot of people had.
Yeah, we did say. I mean, imagine get this book. It is. It's laughable thinking that Games Workshop would put something out with a book that wouldn't open properly. But it looked like it did from when they showed us on the video. What did you say? There was another game that uses a similar style, but Gloom?
Yeah, Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. It was an expansion for that had I think it was Spiral Bound, if I remember right. I've only played it a couple of times.
It looks really interesting. I like the idea that it's more of a progressive campaign to different areas. That seems like a really cool idea.
The fast setup is perfect, because that's one of the things with Curse City. It takes maybe like half hour.
It's perfect for people like us, isn't it? I mean, we tend to pick up and play games one night after work, don't we? Mm-hmm. So a lot of the time is of the essence for us. So to be able to just pull this out of the box, open the book, kind of, put a bookmark in, remember where you were, kind of thing, stick a couple of notebooks and whatever else you need, and we're up and running. Yeah. That's pretty cool. But interested to see what this hex element and the squares that were on some of the maps, how that works. But we'll know more, I guess, when we get it. But
yeah. It was interesting that they didn't show anything else as well. They didn't show any of the tokens or any of they talked about the map book, but they were very careful as well in the box reveal not to show the other details of what you got in there. So unless there's something up on Warcom now, I've not properly checked, that shows you the full contents of the box. I'm guessing we're going to get like a rule book.
I think we should probably preface this saying that we haven't actually checked anything online. We have literally just watched the video this morning together and have come straight to discuss it. So we haven't seen a lot of the written content. We haven't seen any further pictures or anything. This is coming straight from us watching that video.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm glad we did it, because it was great to watch it with somebody. I don't think we've watched one previous with anybody else other than the missus. It was just don't care.
No, in the summer one that we talked about, I think was on our episode 1 or episode 2. Yeah. We didn't watch it together. We watched it, made some notes, and didn't talk about it until a couple of days later, did we, when we recorded that episode? But no, it was cool to come around this morning and get it watched. We didn't watch it live because we're in the UK, but we kept off the internet. We kept off Discord, and I came round to Wayne's this morning and we just watched it on the TV. So it was a good way of doing it.
It was a good way of doing it, but I need to talk some more about it. Let's talk some more. So are you gonna get Darkwater as well? Then
I would assume so. Yeah. I mean, I can't see why I wouldn't. I think it makes sense to do so because if it's a game that we're going to play, it makes sense to have one at each other's house, so one of us doesn't have to cart it around to the other ones, especially because it seems pretty easy to pick up and play.
Yeah.
And there's some really cool models, so it's something I'd want to have anyway.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But yeah, I'm excited for this. I've been more excited for this all along than you have. Excuse me. I really like the heroes. They do. I'm standing by my stance that it does remind me of like a D&D party, and I think that's intentional. And what I do like is that the heroes look quite clean, and I don't know so if you look at the bad guys, the Nurgle element, they look quite dark. They look grubby. They look very evil, and it's quite dark. But the heroes look very light, colorful. It's a nice contrast. Yeah, I like that idea. Yeah, it looks really cool so far. I'm excited to see how it plays and see how this map element and the hexes work. Yeah, I'll be buying it.
I really hope it comes out before Christmas.
Yeah, we don't know how much it's going to be though.
Yeah, I wonder if they've shown it on Warcom yet. I'm guessing they won't have. Yeah, I genuinely hope this comes out before Christmas. Although part of me wonders if it's not going to be until March. But I really hope. I mean, they're showing everything now. Surely it's going to be before Christmas.
I think it'd be daft to not release it before Christmas.
I don't know when the other Blackstones have come out.
Excuse me. I'm not sure, to be honest. That was kind of when I was away from the hobby for a bit.
I hope it comes out for Christmas. If it does, my plan is because I don't think I'm going back into work until the 12th of January. So I'm off.
You've got a nice stretch then.
Yeah, I think I've got like 3 weeks off. I've taken a bit of leave. So as soon as Christmas hits, if this does come out and I get it, my project is going to be to get this fully painted up for when I go back to work.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Because the basing is what normally I procrastinate on for ages what the theme is going to be, whereas this is a predefined theme. So it's like,
yeah, that's a fair point.
if I figure that out now, I've already got my scheme for Nurgle. So these will be able to join my Nurgle army. So I know how I'm going to do that. I know I'm going to paint them. So I should be able to get this done fairly fast. The problem's going to be painting them to the same level of the rest of my Nurgle army because I'm going to have to do that now.
You spent a lot of time on them.
Yeah, it was a full edition. It was 3 years to paint them all. So
all right.
I'm excited now, mate. I am properly excited for this. I wonder if there's going to be expansions as well. Because they could just do books, can't they?
They could, yeah. Sorry, I keep clearing my throat. Yeah, they absolutely could. I don't know. I mean, it is exciting. They did expansions for Curse City, so you would think that they would do it for this. You know, if they're following that. But again, it looks like a very different game. So
it does. But I mean, that if this works with this book system,
maybe that's what we get going forward.
Yeah, I mean, if that genuinely does work, from their perspective, they can sell the models that work in AOS and in whatever it's called, Warhammer Quest. Because one of the issues before, and especially with Curse City, is with people buying Curse City boxes for the Soulblight element for their armies. And they made a big thing of that, but they underproduced the amount of boxes because then the people that wanted the game for Curse City couldn't get it.
Yeah.
From this, other than the core box, effectively, all you would need, I suppose, unless they change anything mechanically, is the miniatures and the book. You sell the book separate to the box set of miniatures that can be used either in this or in AOS.
Yeah.
You've not got that same level of competition inside the hobby, have you?
That's interesting. I didn't think of that.
But then they can underproduce or produce less of the book because they don't need to produce the book and the box set to sell as one whole unit. They have two separate SKUs. So it should appease both markets then.
Yeah. So
that works.
So on that train of thought, you do think that we're going to get war scrolls for the characters? And
they said so.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, it said in the release, it said you could use this in your Nurgle armor.
All right, I missed that. Okay, good job you were listening.
And I think he made a point as well, saying later on with the other Nurgle releases that the Blight Kings and the Blight Cells are on the same base sizes, and you could use them back and forwards. So
I also
if you wanted to crox them out, so yeah, I'm guessing you could do that. I think the Cyst Witch or whatever she's called would be. I mean, she's not
Belga, the Cyst Witch.
Belga. She's not on. I think she was on a noble base, so that's a little bit different to what's currently there for the chaos for the Nurgle sorcerer ones.
Right. I'll take your
But
word for that.
if they, I think they mentioned that they were going to appear in the battle tome. We'll talk about the battle tome in a minute, 'cause I have opinions about that as well.
Okay.
And
Is it about the cover?
it might be about the cover, Will.
But yeah, it was interesting that they started off with that. So I didn't expect them to lead straight in with the Darkwater box, which was nice to see.
Yeah, yeah, it was. I mean, I'm not complaining at
No.
all.
No, I mean, it was quite AOS heavy at the start, wasn't it?
Yeah, which makes me happy.
Yeah. Yeah, same. We had a quick chat before about what we were hoping for and what we were expecting, and we both said we wanted to see something like a range refresh in AOS or something a little bit different, and we definitely got that, didn't we?
Yeah, I think so. And it was literally, as we said, it was a different style, kind of bringing them all together. I think if anything, this goes to show as well that the new Nurgle stuff that they're showing in this box and the other release, it feels, again, it really does look different to the Horns of a Shut stuff.
Yeah.
It looks way more realistic and way more grim, dark horror,
Yeah,
horror fantasy,
Yeah, very much so.
dark fantasy than those. I mean, I'm looking at the Hellsmiths warband from Underworld that I painted now that you
Yeah, you've got them on the
play the game, man. It's, yeah, they look more like classic fantasy, and then I'm looking across the table to the Sons of Velmorn, and again, they look pretty fantastical, but still way less cartoony than the Hellsmiths.
Yeah, I might give you an indication of what we're going to be doing after this as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, we can talk about that in another segment.
Yeah.
But anyway, have you got anything else to say about Darkwater? I mean, I'm excited for it. What price point do you reckon is going to be on it?
That's an interesting one. I think there's a lot of larger models in that Nurgle range, isn't there? In that box. So I don't know. It looked like the book was fairly big. It wouldn't surprise me if it's closer to 120
Yeah, I think 125 is
pounds. We're talking. Yeah, I don't know what that equates to in dollars, but I think, yeah, I think it'd be over 100. Yeah, I reckon about 120.
120, yeah.
Yeah.
120, 125.
Do you think that's a fair price?
No.
No?
No, I think it's too much for a box game.
Yeah.
I think 100 quid would be good. I think that would be good value and no-brainer for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think if you're, yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky one to think about, isn't it? Because I understand the business is to make money, but it depends if this is being pushed as an entry point into tabletop wargaming or an entry point into Warhammer, or I don't know. I think if you put it at the 100 mark or £99.99, that seems a lot less money than £120, even in the grand scheme of things. It isn't. I don't know if that's a psychological thing, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, we're going to pay it, whether we think it's fair or not.
I mean, with discounts, so 20% off there.
Yes, this is true. Yeah, and you don't have to buy it directly from Games Workshop, do you? So,
I 100% won't be able to get from the old FLGS, but
yeah, I wonder if the idea was that you would split the cost with the people that you're going to play with. Maybe that's, I don't know. It's an interesting one.
I think with some box sets, yeah, totally. But I think when it's got the stuff in it to play the game, I mean, like you say, because I mean, originally you said, shall we split the box, didn't you, a few weeks ago? But it's like, what do you do with the game element of it then? I mean, it's,
yeah.
If it wasn't for the fact that they showed those new heroes, I would be like, yeah, all right, that's probably a cool thing, because we play the game and then we forget about the game.
Yeah.
We just buy the expansion books, but it seems like it may be viable now with the new things. And I suppose it could. Let's see how much they release it for. Hopefully it'll be before Christmas.
I can't see it being more than 130. But I think it'd be over 100.
It's already out in the wild, seemingly.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, when I just went onto Warcom there, and I've literally been offline for 2 days.
Yeah, we took this seriously.
I've hardly been in the Discord, in fact. And it seems like it had leaked a couple of days ago. Somebody has box shipped to them.
Oh, okay.
So the fact that it's been in a warehouse, out and shipped,
makes me think it could be out for Christmas. Then.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be. I hope so. Fingers crossed.
But we'll see.
Okay. Yeah. What else did we have shown then?
Well, I think that leads us nicely into the next bit, because it was Maggotkin of Nurgle.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. So we've got Sloven Knights, Festus the Leech Lord, Pestigors, Rot Swords, Putrid Blight Kings, the Battle Tome, the Regiments of Renown, new Spearhead, and new Path to Glory. So
Yes.
there's an awful lot there. But yeah,
Damn it.
you like Nurgle.
Yeah, it is.
So what do you think to this as a range refresh?
I'm happy. You know what? I know people were talking about this range refresh,
Yeah.
but I hadn't seen any hard rumors. I mean, the only thing that I kind of knew had been put out there was we were getting a new Festus model, and as I said,
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be the big bad in this box was going to be Festus
Yeah.
in Warhammer Quest. I'm gonna talk about Festus first.
Yeah, go for it.
That model is stunning, dude. I mean, I'm like,
It's nicer than the previous one, which we spoke about at length, didn't we? And was it
Yeah.
in your top 10 list?
Yes,
Was it? Yeah.
I love it. I think it's a glorious model. It's a really old model. Like I said, Festus played a significant role in the end times. It's a wonderful model, a wonderful character. And this new model, now he's ascended to be a demon prince, is just absurdly good. I mean, I need to take a proper look at it, but from what I saw there, I'm so excited for this. I was super excited for Harbinger of Decay when it came out with Dawnbringers, and it's still one of my favorite models. Like I said, I think that should have been the model of the decade. But this is just like so good. It's so dark comparatively. I mean, he's taking away that humorous element.
Yeah, it
From
is
Nurgle.
actually. Yeah, it looks a lot more menacing.
It does. I mean, there's some sinister stuff on there. The fact he's got the body wrapped up in the tarp on the back of
In
his
the
thing.
shroud
Yeah,
almost. Yeah.
that's kind of the thing that I honestly didn't expect to be seeing from GW stuff anymore. I thought it was going away from that, so I'm really encouraged to see this coming back now. And it's even the fact that he's got alternate face sculpts, because like we see that joviality with Nurgle. Yeah, I was a dude. I can't think of another Nurgle sculpt where he does this. I am well up for it. I mean,
Which one would you use?
I don't know. I mean, I want to go with the non-smiley version, I think, but I think the smiling version looks.
You can make it look like a really creepy, evil smile.
Yeah.
I reckon.
It's kind of like Dark Joker the Wild kind of smile from Batman. I want to give it like that joviality, like sinister, evil joviality to it, where it's like, yeah, this is somebody that actually revels in like entropy and killing things and wanting to see decay and the nastiness. And I like that. That's how Festus as a character comes across. He's just a piece of work. I mean, this guy just wants to see people die in the most brutal and horrible ways, and I'm there for that. I mean, not that I'm a psychopath, I'm not, but I like that aesthetic.
Yeah.
And this model really leans into it. The mount that he's got. Again, it reminded me of Articulus Slimeox, another one of the Nurgle named characters. So he's one of the Plague Bearers, named Plague Bearers, one of the Heralds, I think he is. But again, that's a really funny character. I mean, he's sat on this big Goiki stale. I tried to make it a little bit darker in my own take on it, but he's got a giant pair of scissors because he's like Nurgle's gardener, riding this big giant snail like something in Alice in Wonderland. You know, you expect it. It's kind of like this Carolean thing of it, where
this is different. He's riding on a big leech, but a big leech with a terrifying mouthful of teeth.
Yeah. And he's got did you notice he got like another leech attached to his stomach?
Yeah.
Wrapped around this guy that's like all like withered and decayed on one side. That massive leech is going to look like absolutely fantastic with some like slime trails in its gob and like slime trails behind it. Perhaps like, you know, well, we could have some bodies like reaching out of the ground, like it's just like slithered over them and it's just decayed and it's melted. I've got loads of like little bits of STLs that I can print out of there of like arms coming out. So I'm just excited for it. It looks great.
Yeah, only you could see the smile on his face.
I know it's filthy, isn't it? It's a filthy, disgusting, Nurglish smile. And yeah, it's
good to see you excited about something like this, though. It's I'll be honest, it's not the range refresh that I wanted to see, but I'm kind of glad it's there because it's in a different style to what I would expect to see, and it gives me a bit more hope going forward. Not that I didn't have hope, but I like this direction.
Yeah, I'm surprised at this point we've got a like I would have seen an addition to the range, fine, couple of characters. I didn't necessarily think it needs a range refresh at this point, even though it's been around since first edition iOS now.
Yeah.
Or close to first edition.
Yeah.
I think there's other races that perhaps could have used the range refresh.
I suppose this was probably to tie it in with the box game.
Yeah.
So it makes sense, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think if you're selling this box game with new Nurgle models, it will eventually lead to people wanting to take that next step and here we go. We've got some fresh new ones that ties the range together. So for a business standpoint, that makes sense to me. And I like the idea behind it. And I really like the designs on them, even though, as I say, I'm not huge on Nurgle. Some of them I really liked, some of them I didn't, but some of that range I did like.
You liked some of the ones that I didn't like. You were more into the knight ones than I am.
Yeah.
They're the least interesting.
What, the Sloven Knights?
Yeah, I mean,
I mean, they said it on there that you can imagine the Harbinger of Decay almost leading this as a unit.
Yep.
And I really like that idea. I really like the Rot Swords as well.
yeah,
Did you like them?
yeah, I liked them.
Yeah. What I did notice is a couple of them in that range almost like they had sort of samurai-esque armor.
Yeah.
Sort of the plate sort of folding over one of the flaring out of the hips a little bit.
Mhm.
It was nice to see some different designs for mail and armor, and there was a lot of the little fly motif for Nurgle everywhere. There's a lot of nice little details in a lot of it that was, it's easy to miss when you're watching it on a video, and it's almost blink and you'll miss it. So I want to go and have a look properly at these pictures because I'm sure there's details that we missed, but the sculpts look really detailed. They look like some of the nicest in AOS that I've seen so far. I like the idea that a lot of them have got them antlers. I think they're antlers.
Yeah.
Coming out the helmet.
That's in the current range of the Blight Kings and stuff.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it shows how much I know about Nurgle. But yeah, I like that idea. Yeah, it's super interesting. But yeah, tell me, what do you think to the Battletown cover? Got to get this out of the way, haven't we?
I want to bleep it out, but it's another crap one, isn't it? I mean,
I liked it.
it's not as bad as the Flesh Eater Corpse one.
No,
But I don't think anything ever will be as bad as that. I mean, I'm going to say I like football more than I like that Battletown.
coming from a man who absolutely hates football.
100%. I mean, it offends me, but this one as well is just like atrocious. I'm hoping that they're going to release an army box that's going to have a special edition in it. I can just grab the army box and hopefully get a nice Battletown cover because it's
So do you see yourself painting this range?
yeah. Well, I've already got
That given then?
yeah. I mean, I can't now not because I mean, there's the Maggotkin as a faction. I always found a little bit odd because it felt like there was a couple of units. I mean, the Maggotkin human faction was basically Blight Kings.
Yeah.
That's it. You got like Blight Kings, and then you got like Blight Kings on like flies.
Yeah.
I can't remember the called Puscoil Blight Lords. And there's some named characters. So you got like Lord of Decay, Lord of there were 3 of them.
Yeah.
And the Rock Sorcerers. So there was hardly anything there. Couple of characters. I can't remember the chap's name, like the piratey technically guy.
Oh yeah, I know who you mean. I can't remember the name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so there wasn't a huge amount of the Maggotkin, and it was more Nurgle.
So you're happy to leave that?
Yeah,
It's
so
kind of it then.
it rounds that out now. So the fact that you've got cavalry, it fits the archetype more of what it fleshes it out, no pun intended, because I mean there's a lot of flesh in Nurgle, but it does round it out to a level where I'm like, yeah, all right, this feels like you could take a Maggotkin army now without a load of demons.
Yeah.
Which I do quite like. So yeah, I'm probably gonna pick this. If it comes out as an army box, I'll probably pick the
Yeah,
army
I would
box.
assume that it would. I'd be surprised if it doesn't. Especially with like special edition not codex. What am I talking about? Battletown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be really, really good. But having each of the individuals as well, I think what's going to happen is I'm going to paint these alongside my main army because I'm not moving away from my Soulblight Gravelords. That's going to be my main army, which is fine. But yeah, I will absolutely supplement my Maggotkin army, but I will paint them to the same quality. So
Yeah.
if you're thinking you're going to be fighting against these anytime soon,
Think again.
perhaps you might want to like calm your passions a little bit there. But yeah, certainly I will. What I'm definitely not going to do is pick up Festus and save him right till the end.
No.
Because I've made that mistake now with Archeon and Be'lakor.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it and enjoy it and then paint the units because I've already got like 20 Blight Kings.
Yeah.
And they said in the video that they're the same base sizes. You can use them. You can proxy one as the new Blight Swords or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'll probably do those last.
Okay.
I'll do the unit of mounted cavalry.
Sloven Knights.
The Sloven Knights, I'll do those after I paint Festus.
Yeah.
And I'll probably do it that way. So I'll supplement it with
Do the newer stuff first, then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Those demons as well. Those what were those demons in? They were in Warhammer Quest, weren't they? We didn't talk about the demons that were in Warhammer Quest. Yeah, they were gorgeous. They were absurdly nice.
What were they called?
I don't know, the ones with like the 3 heads.
Oh yeah, they were
So nice.
Cankerbon.
Cankerbot, and they're gonna have rules in it also, so I'll probably almost certainly pick those because they were absolutely stunning.
They were quite horrific looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were definitely not your token comedy Nurgle, were they? They looked nasty.
Well, those Slaven Knights, there was one horse that looked like actually disgusting.
Yeah, was that the one with the tongue lolling?
Yeah. And the Pestigars as well. When it showed you because there was the expanded range of the Pestigars one, and those looked ridiculous as well. So I'm really excited about that whole range. So yeah, I'm absolutely going to get those, paint them, and I almost want to rebase all of my Nurgle stuff now. I mean, I'm not going there because
It'd be a big job.
it would be a huge job, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I do not want to redo the Watkins bases and stuff. So I'm going to try and bring parity together with them all, and perhaps just I don't know. Maybe I need to get them all out and have a look at them and kind of figure it out.
Well, you got time to think because they're not on sale yet.
Yeah,
We don't think they didn't say a date for it, did they? So I would assume that, I don't know, I'm not going to assume anything, but yeah, I mean, it's cool to see that there's a new spearhead for them as well. I think the spearhead is mainly older models anyway, though, isn't it?
It is. I think, what did I see in there? There was a rock. It was the Rockmire Creed in one of the boxes.
Was that?
So that's the warband that came out in the Art of Gur second edition, second season of Warcry.
Yep.
So there's a Rockbringer Sorcerer in there as well. There was the Rockmire Creed warband.
Yep.
And what else was in that box?
I can't remember.
One of the big Beast of Nurgle.
Yeah.
One of the big huggy ones, and there was something else in there. It's all existing models.
Yeah.
I think the other one had one of the heralds, Spoilpox Scrivener, I think it was. 2 units of Nurglings, I want to say, and some Poxbringers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the good thing is there's 2 more spearheads there. There's already a spearhead is the route. There is.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
The Pascal block. So I'm happy that once those come out, I have all of those.
You
can play it. Yeah, so it's wonderful. I've got everything that it. So that's really nice.
It's nice to see, like, you know, we were promised 2 spearheads, so the 2 spearheads for every faction, and they're still on with that. So that's good to see. Still waiting on Fire Slayers, but we'll get them at some point.
Yes,
I hope.
Yeah, I think we might do. You never know.
Well, yeah, I mean, if this is the direction they're going, looking at some of these new sculpts and looking at the dwarf in the Dark Water box, I'm interested to see if and what they do with Fire Slayers down the line. So
I reckon.
Oh god.
Right. So from 3rd edition,
It's just tin vial hat time.
it is tin vial hat time. I wasn't convinced we were going to get Fire Slayers, but I wasn't convinced we were going to see a Nurgle refresh either. I honestly thought we were going to get a character, and I thought that was going to be Festus because of his appearance in that game.
Yeah.
But seemingly I was wrong. But when you look at, I think we mentioned this before, 3rd edition's battle tomes launched with Fire Slayers and Magic Kingdom of Nurgle, so they were the first battle tomes out in 3rd edition.
Oh, so maybe Fire Slayers could be next.
I think Fire Slayers might be next because we've already had the release on Warhammer Community.
Oh, with the little teaser thing.
Yeah, and that was about 3 months ago. We've not had, what they didn't show in this release was the roadmap for AOS. I reckon on Christmas Day we're going to get the roadmap for the next quarter up into spring battle tomes.
Nice Christmas present.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Fire Slayers.
One with the Santa hat, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, they said they're going to support it in this range, so it is going to get a battle tome. So I think we will either get the battle tome and new models, depending on what they're doing with the larger.
Well, it gives me a bit of hope because look at the range refresh that Nurgle have just had.
I know.
Imagine if we get something similar for Fire Slayers. I know you're not asked about it, but I am. So
if it
gets this same treatment, then bang goes my paycheck when that all comes out because I'll be buying that.
Yeah.
And then I can finish off the ones I already have that I've kind of put on hold because we didn't know what was going on with it.
But rightly so.
But I'm glad I didn't sell the stuff that I still have boxed and I kept it just in case. And
I think you did right.
Yeah,
I think you did right. I think I'm quietly confident now that I'm still not convinced about Ogre Mortrides and Sons of Bahamut. I just do not see them happening, but
See, we'll see.
we'll see.
We still got that roadmap to
Yeah.
wait for.
Or maybe if they do them, maybe it's gonna be like Maggotkin, and we are gonna see like a huge range refresh because they are old models.
Yeah,
Both of those two ranges are like Warhammer Fantasy days.
Oh yeah. I remember them coming out.
Yeah, so it's like they're either gonna get rid or just
modernize.
just modernize.
Yeah.
But I thought they was gonna get rid, but we'll see, man. I really hope they do Fire Slayers because I think we need dwarfs, and I don't think the Horns of a Scratch hits. I'd be happy for them for them to merge Fire Slayers and Caradron like we talked about when we did it in that episode, and
Yeah.
just do,
Common, whatever you call them, to add in of some. I don't know.
yeah.
Maybe add some new dispossessed or something. I don't know.
Well, that's it. I mean, that's a way of. But maybe they're not going. But they're definitely not going to do that either because we've already had the Caradron Overlords battle tome for this edition.
That's true.
So they're not.
No, they're not going to do that actually, are they?
And I would have thought of the two. Yeah. So perhaps. So let's hope, man.
Let's hope.
I'm excited for you. I think there's more potential now after seeing this Maggotkin refresh, which I still don't understand, but I'm happy for.
Yeah, we'll take it. But yeah, I mean, have you got anything else to say on that before we move on to the next bit?
No, I don't think there's any point in going into each of the individual units and how good they looked. But
What we didn't mention, Patibori.
oh my god, dude!
Yeah,
How do we forget about that? Yes. Oh my days.
Patibori Blighted Wilds.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, we've not played the last Pastigo. We haven't played any of the games yet, but
No, but I mean, we've got plans to do it.
I think 26 is going to be the year.
26 is going to be a good year for us. Yeah, I think we spent a lot of this year starting a podcast, learning, painting spearheads, learning to play again, learning to play full stop. And yeah, I think we're going to be starting the year off on a good foot. We've got plenty to look forward to. But yeah, once we get this Path to Glory campaign out of the way, however long this is going to take, at least we know we can come back and you'll have finished your Nurgle models by then. So
I will.
here we go, Blighted Worlds.
Well, I think from what we had in the episode a little while ago, a couple of episodes back now, when we talked about our lore, as I said during the release, I got super excited and started shaking you almost. I was like, this is almost like we could do a prequel to the Path to Glory with it being a Nurgle themed one of how Torrik got infected in the first place. So I could have Soulblight versus Nurgle.
Yeah. We could, I mean, one of us will no doubt be buying that book unless we both buy it anyway. And we could probably pick out some elements from that we might want to interject into ours once we get up and running. Yeah. So, we've got opportunity there, haven't we?
I mean, yeah, I will definitely be getting it. I'm almost contractually obliged now because I do collect every single AOS book.
Yeah, you do.
So I will definitely be getting it.
But again, it's good to see that Path to Glory is still being supported in line with some of the factions that we thought were going to get some love. So, to me, if there's any question that AOS is going anywhere, this kind of thing is telling me completely otherwise. So I'm excited for next year.
I'm very excited for this, man. I'm really excited. I'm so glad we're doing this. I mean, even with the accidental podcast, I think we've got so much to look forward to and talk to, and I'm confident that in 2026, we'll both have armies and we can play on the regular. We should be able to play a little bit more as well from the start of the year. Across.
Yeah, I think
so. We'll have a couple of times where we can really concentrate on that being the focus of the hobby time, playing the games with the other stuff being ancillary to it, whereas at the moment we've just been kind of preparing, which it's an interesting concept in itself, isn't it, to talk about like how much effort goes into actually playing Warhammer to the left of it before you actually get to the right side of playing games if you want to play it and it look nice and you have all of the fluff surrounding it and you're not just playing a literal game.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because we, with the best of intentions, made a lot of plans to start playing, but then we almost forget that real life does get in the way when we are two grown men, families, full-time jobs, children. Things happen, don't they? And, there's always things out of our control and it bleeds into our hobby sometimes. But, we've been really good with the podcast, keeping on schedule with that. We've never missed anything. Even if we've recorded late, we're always pushed out. So I think...
Oh, we've released it early.
Yeah, well, we're not going to talk about that one way, no. If anybody did get the last episode early, with no description or anything, I mean, enjoy, you got a little treat. But, it's actually doing quite well, that episode. But, yeah, I think next year we're gonna be on a good footing to play a lot more. Yeah, I think we need to make more time, I think, for it, for each other, and define it, and we'll get there.
We're getting there with it.
We are getting there.
What else did this show us? So we've talked about Warhammer Quest, we've talked about Nurgle.
Oh, Warhammer Plus came next. I'm going. Yeah, my notes are in order from what we got told. So yeah, new animation.
Yeah,
Some of them look like, it looks like they're leveling up the quality of them.
Yeah,
But what do we see? We saw Sisters against Eldar, Krieg and Orcs.
Yep.
I mean, you know I love Krieg, and they looked really cool on that. Terminators and Inquisition armor.
Yeah.
What is that?
I have no idea.
I mean, we would think Grey Knights, but they didn't have the Grey Knights armor variant.
Did Death Watch have Terminators?
I don't know. Possibly. You're looking at me very quizzically, like you're thinking.
Well, I was thinking when I said that they looked like Grey Knights, and then you
Definitely have
they didn't have the helmet.
Yeah.
And I was like, I wonder if Death Watch have Terminators. I'm sure Death Watch have Terminators.
would think so.
I would think so.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, there was definitely a Terminator with the, the pattern, the armor pattern we all know and love, with that sort of bulldoggy looking helmet. Sorry, I just smacked the microphone there. But yeah, with the very, very pronounced eye on its chest plate. So that was cool. Then we saw Be'lakor and Eternus, which I think is Black Talon, did they say?
Black Talon Season 3?
Yeah, I still haven't watched Black Talon, so I need to get on that. There was World Eaters in there, which I'm excited for.
Was it World Eater or was it Khan?
Was it Khan?
I don't know.
Well, we'll find out. And then there were some Cadians there. And what else did we see? They seem to make an emphasis on showing us some flying vehicles.
There was the Aeronautica Imperiale. Yeah, they said there was going to.
Yeah. That's what I spotted. Did I miss anything there?
I don't think so. I think you did a pretty good summary of it.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. I mean, I've got a few free days this week actually, because I was going away with some friends. So I'm going to try and get through my backlog of things to watch while I've got sort of free house. So I'm going to try and get up to date with them, ready for the new animations coming out. They did say that one's coming this year. Was it the Black Talon one?
Yeah, end of Black Talon.
Yeah, and then the rest of it's going to be 2026. But some of it looked really cool, like showing us little clips of the motion capture and the orchestra doing the score. It's good to see that they're putting effort into this, because there's been times since we spoke about this on an episode, didn't we, about what we think about Warhammer Plus and the sort of televised content, or whatever you want to call it. And it's good to see that this is still being thought of, because I thought there might have been a bit of a drop off, but
some of the shows they produce on there as well as the animations are really good though.
Yeah.
Oh, they're all right. Are they really good? I'm guilty of not watching enough of Warhammer Plus.
Yeah, I think we both
are paying for it. Considering
same. Yeah, same.
I'm going to carry on paying for it.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, I absolutely need that Necromancer model.
Yeah,
Richard.
Yeah,
Richard O'Brien, the Necromancer.
I forgot we had this discussion, but yeah, some really cool looking stuff coming. I'm excited for all of that. Actually, I think I'll try and watch all of it. See what the Terminators and Inquisition armor are.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
My only observation about it, and this is purely me and my taste, I don't like the animation style of Black Talon.
No, I think that's what's been putting me off watching it. I get that.
It just looks too anime, European anime style. It's not for me.
It's reminiscent of something for me, but I can't put my finger on.
It reminds me of was it Phantom 2099? Years ago.
I don't know it.
You're probably only a kid.
What year are we talking?
I can't even remember. It feels like it might have been like 96 or something.
I mean, that was the time I was watching cartoons. I still watch cartoons now as a 35-year-old man.
I mean, I still watch them. I still collect a lot of toys as well. So
fair. But I mean, there's some cool stuff. I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, I mean, we only kind of got little teasers, but I did like the sisters and the white armor. Was it all something rose?
I liked that rose.
Yeah, was that what it was?
Mm-hmm.
I like that. So I see something different, but yeah, I'm excited for all of them.
Yeah, me too. I've got to admit, I'm really, maybe not the Aeronautica Imperialis.
Yeah, okay.
But other than that,
yeah, cool. All right, well, next up, Horus Heresy.
Yeah.
Do
you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say I'm a fan of the Horus Heresy lore. I've never played the game. I do like the models. I have bought some in a previously, just as a little painting project when I wasn't playing. We got the Mark III Breacher Squad that was announced, which was quite cool. You made a crack about they look easy to paint, and even I could paint them, and you found that highly amusing, as you have again. He bullied me, everybody, but no, I thought it was some really cool looking models. That Dreadnought looked really nice.
Leviathan Siege Dread.
Yeah, I liked that. I think you could quite easily port that into 40k if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Then we got the new Cataphractic Terminators in there. My favorite Terminator armor. You're not a big fan, are you?
No, I like the Illyrian
Yeah.
armor.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
And then I think that was it in there, wasn't there? That box.
There was the Skitari as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, the Skitari Battle Group. Is that what I'm called?
Something like that, yeah.
Now you are more into that side of things than me.
If I was to play a Heresy, it would definitely be like
Yeah.
Admech, or Dark Admech.
Yeah.
Really.
I'm not a huge fan of that. I don't like the style. I don't particularly like the lore on them, but
All of the things that I do.
yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? We have this different dynamic, but
Yeah. Whereas I really love Space Marines, yet I think Heresy Space Marines just look daft.
I see Heresy Space Marine armor is my favorite. What do we say when we were watching it? Mark V, I think, was the one that
You like
that I
like
liked.
these are like Mark 2 and 3 weren't they?
Yeah, I think my point that I made was I really love the novels, the Horus Heresy novels. Huge fan of them. When I picture them in my head, it's always in Mark V armor. Even if it tells me somebody's wearing something else, I always picture that Mark V, and that is just one of the quintessential parts of that sort of just of Space Marines in general. I could see myself playing this game, but if it's not something that you are gonna ever do, then we're not gonna do it. But I think if we ever did want to branch out, I would sooner play that than full fat 40k.
I probably agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if I did play Space Marines, I'd have to get Dark Angels, but
Of course.
just literally just because I would have to have a mammoth or use my mammoth.
Yeah.
My knockoff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would almost be certain to be Admech.
Yeah.
But it's just like such an investment in
It is.
another game system and an absolute wodge of models, especially for Admech, because you need
Oh yeah.
a ton of them.
Oh yeah. I'm not trying to suggest that we do it because I don't think that's a bison. I'm quite happy to reread the books and absorb that whole time period that way because that's what it's about for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Titanicus is probably a middle ground in it. But I'm just like, I'm getting old. I've only just got needs lots. It's like that's a whole other level of small scale.
Yeah. Well,
and how do you drill the barrels on something that's
very true. You just don't. But yeah, Legion Imperialis got the Saturnine battle box as well, don't they?
Yeah.
So, again, it's not something that really interests me. They look cool, but that's all I can really say on that. I don't know how they perform in game. I don't know. We don't play it, do we?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited for people that are excited for it, but
yeah, it's nice to see love being given to nearly every part of this hobby, isn't it?
other than Warcry. Yeah.
Other than Warcry, yeah. But okay, so Black Library as well, Horus Rising, the new book set. I immediately saw that and thought I need that, despite knowing that I already have physical copies of these books. So I probably won't buy it, but it looks cool. And I don't know, maybe it's pre-packaging it to get people into it that maybe feel a bit daunted about buying how many books are there?
54?
Yeah,
Is it?
without, these are the ones, sounds like they've condensed it down to some of the key
12 books.
yeah, some of the key ones, which I think is a good idea because you don't need to read them all to get a gist of what happened. I think the first 3 are must reads. Was it Horus Rising, False Gods? The other one I can't remember. Age of Darkness. I don't know. It's been a while since I've read them, but the Lunar Wolves ones, yeah. And then I think like First Heretic, things like that. Burning a Prospero. I think they're some of the key elements that you need to know to show how the Fall of Chaos happened, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, if they've put them together in one tome, I think it's a really good idea.
If they release it as an audiobook, or as an audiobook collection, I would probably get through those.
Yeah, I mean,
So I have it, so I feel like I've missed some, but I can't dedicate the amount of time required to go through 54 books.
I know. I wish I could tell you to, because I think you would enjoy them, but I think this is probably the reason why they've done it. It is daunting to start at the start of a book series that is so big.
Yeah.
And if you don't need to know, I mean, you've probably absorbed some of the stories and lore from osmosis from reading the 40K accounts of it, and knowing the backstory from the codexes and all this, and just this years of history that we've got within the hobby, and it being pulled together in novel format. But I got a lot from reading them books, and it's ones that I do like to go back to. So if you ever do want to read them, I'm quite happy to give you some recommendations, because I can kind of pinpoint the ones that I like, because it's key moments of the Odyssey. So if you ever do, just give me a shout.
Yeah, will do.
Okay, Old World. Next.
This is another one for you, and I don't care about these.
Yeah,
I'm not interested.
Cathay Army box. Yeah, it's okay. I like some of the sculpts. I didn't like all of them. The main guy who's riding on the griffin thing, I don't know, it looked a bit derpy. But I like the peasant.
Oh, really?
The peasant.
The peasant levy.
Yeah, peasant levy was quite cool. I like the straw hats that some of
Yeah,
them wear.
you really did like that, didn't you? Do like, oh, like fuck the straw hat there.
I quite into like samurai and like a little bit of Japanese sort of feudal history, and that's links that together quite nicely. But
Do you think that because you earlier you mentioned the armor of the Blight Kings?
Yeah.
Do you think that some of those Blight Kings are supposed to be from Cathay?
oh, that's an interesting point. Perhaps, maybe so.
That's cool, 'cause that'd be cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
That would be pretty sweet.
But yeah, I like and I don't like the Cathay range. I like how it's got clear influences from Asia, the East Asian continent. I don't like how it seems to mix sort of Chinese elements, Mongolian elements, Japanese elements. I might be completely wrong. That's how it looks to me. It looks like a bit of a mishmash, but I really like the facial sculpts that they've done on them, because it's quite obvious that that's intended to
Yeah.
be what it is. I like a lot of the Japanese elements, because I'm a fan. I'm a bit of a Japan fanboy, aside from Warhammer. But I mean, it's not prompting me to get into Old World by any means. So
I thought predominantly it felt more Chinese influence for me. Yeah, I don't know, but I didn't look too closely, but they're all right. I did like was it the Astromancer? This little bird, like a little crow with legs and a little orb thing. I was like, yeah, it's a little orby bird.
little chubby correct, wasn't
I don't know what that is, but give me it on a round base and I'm sold.
Yeah, but yeah, we didn't really talk too much about that, but I'd be interested to see what it is. But okay, well, move on from that. Necromunda. What do we get?
Oh yeah, they showed some new squats.
Yeah, what was this Spire of Primus thing?
Yeah, they showed the squats. What did you think of the squats? Let's talk about them first. The squats and
They don't look like Games Workshop models to me.
No, I agree.
That's one thing I said while we were watching it. They look, yeah, they just don't look like they fit in. But I suppose Necromunda's always been a bit of a red herring, but they didn't look overtly GW to me. What do you think?
I totally agree. I mean, I thought they were really boring as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, cool if you're into Necromunda. And perhaps they've done that way so that you can add your own embellishments on
maybe.
to like the trophies that they've got through whatever progression route is. So I don't know enough about Necromunda to say for certain, but yeah, they're all right. But I did like Dante's brother, so whatever it's called.
Azostia Maranthus.
Yeah, that guy, man. I was there for him. I thought that was a real, other than his weird, like flaily metal leg.
Do you mean Dante crossed with General Grievous from Star Wars? Yes, exactly what I thought.
Dante Grievous.
Yeah, he looked pretty evil. They did say there was some backstory with him, so yeah, I might have to keep an eye on what that is, because it looks a little bit out of place for Necromunda. I don't know what it'll be, but it sounds really interesting.
I genuinely like that. So, do you know what it reminded me of? And I know it's not. Do you know Space Marine? Or what's it called? Astartes.
Oh yeah, the video.
Yeah. Do you know the telepathic dude at the end?
Yeah.
His face looked like that.
Oh,
It really reminded me of it.
Okay. Yeah, I see that now you said it.
But I really liked that skull. Other than the weird, whatever those kind of pantaloons. He's like, I'm going to put on my fighting trousers, fighting pants, my fighting pants. Come on. It reminded me of that, but I really liked how he looked. I could imagine him like being like modified into the Sanguine or put some wings on the back of it and just elevate them up a bit.
Yeah,
That
it
looked
changes.
really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you could. Yeah, I think you could probably chop that head and maybe even the chest off that and put it in your Blood Angels.
Really liked it. I really did feel that it was really, really good sculpt.
Yeah, the other ones that initially I pointed out, oh, I don't like those, and then by the end of the segment, I came round to them. I can't remember what they were called. I don't have it in my notes because I probably missed out. But what were they? They were that unit of. They were sort of navy blue with the hats on and the
Like
skull
not
masks.
guards. Oh yeah, with the red scarf
Yeah.
like thing. I liked those.
I turned around to them towards the end. But yeah, I can't remember what they're called, so apologies. This segment's probably gonna sound like a lot of nonsense. But yeah, we sort of said it looked like it could be a kill team or
Yeah.
that you could easily repurpose for Inquisition or do some kit bashing for guard or whatever. But
I liked the things that was over like the shoulders and became like the scarves. I don't know
do
what
you want me to have a look? You'll see what they were called. Hold, please.
please holding. Shall I play some hold music?
Yeah, go for it. Oh, now you put
Phenomenal.
that shit. But yeah, I mean Necromunda on the whole, just while I'm looking on this. What are your thoughts on Necromunda? It's not really
interesting.
something we've spoken about.
It's not, and it's one of those things that I think I would enjoy it if we played it, but I like the longevity of the rule set.
It's been around a long time.
Yeah, it has been long, and they seem not to refresh, but it's one of the specialist games, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it's not.
Palanite Justicars.
That's a ridiculous name.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. The Palanite Enforcers, yeah. That's what we meant. But yeah, at first I saw them, I thought they looked ridiculous, but then kind of looked a bit closer, and yeah, I think they're quite cool. I immediately looked at them at maybe conversion for something else in 40k, but it was an interesting model, interesting set of models, should I say.
Yeah, I thought of the Necromunda releases, they were definitely the more interesting ones, along with Dante Primus, whatever it's called.
Dante Primus was called.
Was it one day? So
I don't know if I'm saying this right. Azostia Maranthus.
yeah, him.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just looking at a picture of him now.
No, it's cool. Didn't he have like a little cherub? Cherub?
Yeah, the Divine Prince, which looked quite cool.
Yeah,
Sorry, we left a bit of dead air there.
we did leave a bit of dead air. But
There's an alternate build, I'm just saying,
is it?
where he's not clad in metal, where he's fleshy. Sorry, I'm just showing my.
Oh right, okay. That is very cool. Yeah.
All right. But yeah, I mean that's it for Necromunda, really. Yeah.
It is. What else have we got there?
So we come to the big one. Drum roll, please. Warhammer 40,000.
Oh.
This is the one that everybody wants to see, that everybody was excited for, and they started off with Votan.
They did. I thought this guy looks cool, other than the I mean, for me, it looked like a massive orc head.
Big orc head, yeah.
Yeah, I love how it's got his spine.
Beric Stormbrow, this man.
Yeah. I like this sculpt.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I mean, I'm not in a rush to go and buy Votan. I like my dwarves in my sort of fantasy setting rather than my sci-fi setting. But yeah, interesting sculpt. I don't think the paint job does him any justice. I don't know. That's a bit of a catchphrase we have on this podcast. But yeah, the big orc head. What do you think?
I like it. I mostly like the Votan range, to be fair. I think I'm in the minority where I actually think it's an interest. I like the lore.
Yeah.
I like so that's kind of colours my judgment somewhat. I think this is a cool sculpt. I enjoy it. I hope there's an alternate build where he's not got the orc head, just because if I was collecting Votan, I would not necessarily want him just raising an orc head. If I'm fighting against Necrons, for instance,
Yeah, I
that
think
would annoy me, but
yeah, we're quite big on the immersion, aren't we? So if we were playing this and, whatever, you decided to field an army of Votan and I was fielding an army of something that wasn't orcs, that would immediately stick out like a sore thumb.
yeah, I either wouldn't take it, if I was taking it, or I'd have to like convert it a couple of, like, knowing what you wouldn't take. But yeah, I think this looks really, really cool. I'm enjoying that they're starting to flesh out this faction a little bit more, because it doesn't feel like the Votan had a lot of love since they came out. So I'm enjoying the fact that they're pushing it a little bit more.
Yeah, they got some love in summer, didn't they?
They did indeed. And I really liked some of those sculpts going back to them. I know some people didn't. I mean, I still think one of them looks like Heihachi Mishima, but whatever. It's like, it would be I still think it'd be hilarious if it was like a
I forgot you made that comparison.
I really want him to like have a piece of equipment called the Electro Wind Godfist. That it would just be hilarious. I would be on the floor laughing.
Yeah, I mean, there'd be is it Konami Tekken?
No, Namco.
Namco. Oh yeah, it is. Namco sending a cease and desist letter to Games Workshop would be interesting.
It
But
would be hilarious, but
and then what do we have after Beric Stormbow? We had
we had Tau that nobody cares about.
Poor Man's Gundam. Yeah, the Twin Lands. They look more and more like Gundam kits to me every time I see them.
I think these are some of the worst models that have come out
Honestly,
in a long time.
yeah, I mean, I found myself zoning out when they were talking about it. I was looking at the pictures and I was not retaining any of the information that they were telling me about the lore or whatever. We just don't like Tau, I guess it's fair to say. I mean, somebody must like them. They keep churning out models, but I don't know.
But that's it, isn't it? I mean, it feels like these are really old. They look nothing like any of the newer 40k stuff. It feels like they're
They don't seem to fit in the setting to me. I genuinely don't get it. Maybe we'll do an episode on Tau one day.
Do you know what? When I look at Tau, what kind of comes to mind? Star Trek.
Yeah,
It's like Star Trek TNG. There's that level of cleanliness to them, and I know they're supposed to have that higher tech feel to them.
Yeah.
But when everything else is in the grim darkness of the 41st millennium, we've got like Tau.
Yeah,
Like let's polish everything.
shiny new kids, aren't they?
Yeah.
It's like the kid on the first day of school that's got his new trainers, and I don't know.
And they just don't fit in.
I look at them and I see third-party Gundam kits.
Yeah, perhaps.
I mean, I'm a Gundam fan, so if it looks like a knockoff Gundam, then I can't really look past it. But should we move on? Like, I don't want to spend. I don't get too negative on. But
No, I'm not getting negative. I think it'd be
I can feel a rant coming. That's all.
it'd be fun to chat about them in another episode where we perhaps talk about what we don't like about Tau specifically and what we would do to address that. If you did want to play Tau, like how would you heavily convert them to be your Tau? But
Shiver went on my
let's
spine.
keep that for a future podcast.
Do you know what? What I will say is I don't know a lot about the Tau lore, so maybe I'm doing myself a disservice by not reading into this, and maybe it's something that I do need to check out. So
The last thing I will say about this,
What?
I think you should read some of the Tau lore.
Yeah.
Because there is some bits and pieces where on the surface of it, it's clearly not what it is. When you start to look at the Vespids and their relationship with the crew and stuff, it is quite subversive and it's but forget about it being the crew, but specifically this whole greater good mentality and all of the other stuff surrounding it. There is a lot of stuff out there in the stories of like, that's kind of propaganda-ish and there's something else going along and is it subversive control rather than allegiances. So there is more interest there, but I don't think we've ever had it elaborated on. And I think for me, certainly, I've only like gained that knowledge through osmosis. And I do think there's a lot of interest that could come out of that if I could only get past my dislike of the aesthetic to kind of absorb it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I think perhaps it's one of those things where we both could kind of take an opportunity to kind of like explore it and kind of like, we could do it together as like, and kind of just like claw our way through some of the top level lore, just so that it kind of gives us a more rounded view of the 40k universe, so that we're not so dismissive of it. Because it does feel a little bit unfair, even though
that's a mature way of looking at it. I suppose.
It is. I mean, at the end of the day,
that can be part of the 2026 hobby goals.
You can't polish a turd, but you can roll and blow.
Right. So on that lovely note, all right, Tyrannid Prime with Lash Whip.
Yeah, I like this one.
I love it. I'm not a massive Tyrannid fan, but I love it. I don't know a lot about Tyrannid lore. I kind of go off what I see. I just really like that model. I'm not a big fan of High Fleet Leviathan's color scheme. I just think I've seen it an awful lot. But having seen your Tyrannids that you showed me just after, we saw the video after we were talking about this one, I could really see that in your color scheme.
Yeah, I mean, if I was going to do another 40k armor, then I would do Nids after Marines.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because it's more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I say, I spent a little bit of time putting together my own High Fleet idea for Kill Team, and that's where those came from. And I can see what I would do to convert this. I think what I don't like about this model is I think they've used a really bad angle to photograph from. I don't think this is the golden angle for this model at all.
No, you said it, yeah.
And I think it really detracts from it. Whereas when you see it from a couple of other angles, I think there's real potential here. I think that's the case with a lot of the NID models. I think they can look really, really good. And this is, yeah, absolutely. I would like to paint this. There's a lot of the NID stuff I would like to paint, and I would love them to flesh out the NID lore a little bit more. I hope it doesn't just get glossed over in the next edition and we go back to like having whoever the big bad of the edition is. I want them to give us a little bit more love and a little bit of the story progression for NIDs.
Yeah.
I hope.
Okay. Well, you mentioned that we're sort of coming to the end of an edition now, so this is the big one. We've got this new narrative, 500 Worlds.
Yeah, I mean, what do you think of it?
I've got a lot of questions about it. I think it's opening up a broader conversation for me and you to have in regards to perhaps playing this. Perhaps I say that lightly. I don't know a lot about boarding actions. I think you got more of a background on this than me. I think this probably needs to be an off mic conversation that we have when we make some plans of what we are going to play, because we don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. And I don't mean for listeners, I mean for ourselves. But yeah, this new narrative idea, 500 worlds. Obviously, it's 500 worlds of Ultramar, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. On one hand, I'm bored of Ultramarines. On the other hand, I quite like this idea, and there's this new narrative and a new way to play 40k, which sounds like it could be a bit more accessible for us, and I'm guessing for a lot more people.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, yeah, boarding actions is, from my understanding, people don't particularly like it. It's, again, I don't know too much about it. I know that it seems to get a lot of hate, but I don't know if that's coming from the competitive scene or just from people in general. I mean, it's like, oh, we don't care, we enjoy Spearhead.
Hmm.
So I would get behind it.
Is it more akin to Spearhead? That kind
Yeah,
of
it's that size.
scale and size,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, well, maybe it is something that we could look towards. I know we've been talking about Kill Team, but maybe we can have a look at this as well.
I think you play it on two of the Spearhead boards put together. It's that size, I
Okay.
believe. I might be wrong on that. We'd have to check. But I'm almost certainly going to pick up this 500 World Titus box, even though I hate Ultramarines and I really dislike Titus. I know it's ironic, but I feel if I didn't pick up this box,
This
I
is
would
the
be
Captain
sad.
Titus and the Wardens of Ultramar.
No. This is the book set.
Oh, the book set, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, because you're the
Which is called Titus. It's 500 Worlds Titus,
yeah, which
is yeah.
but I
It-
think what it does signify is that it might open up that there's gonna be things that aren't centered around Titus for this. Maybe?
Yes,
Yeah.
is my well. It says they said in the preview, didn't they, that you were going to be able to download the other detachments for free.
Again, you were probably listening more intently than I was, but
So yeah, I think it's not just going to be Ultramarines versus Crons.
which is good because that would probably rule us out if it was.
I don't know, man. I mean,
Well, you
yeah,
quite like the Necrons, didn't you?
I really like those Necrons. Yeah,
What was it? Necrosaur Amentar was the new one?
it was indeed.
Yeah.
I could get behind painting that, man.
What immediately stood out for me on that video was how differently that is painted to what we normally see. It looks like they're going a bit more grimdark with that one. It looks less polished. It looks a little bit more grimy, a little bit more rough. Don't know the lore behind him, but yeah, what do you think of the paint job, first of all, on that one?
I mean, it's pretty standard, isn't it? But it does look different. It is darker, definitely. I like it. My concern with all Necrons is I'm not a massive fan of the faces. I don't find them as terrifying as I think they're supposed to.
Yeah.
But I really like the sculpt. I really like the destroyers as well. So this guy's, did say it's supposed to be the first destroyer. So yeah, from the destroyer cult. So yeah, he is kind of like the progenitor of the destroyer cults. And I really like this model. I really like it. And I don't know, that box looks interesting to me. I mean, if you were going to play this and we were going to play Crons versus Marines, I would happily take Crons in this instance. I mean, not only that, but that Nightbringer is just so freaking awful.
Yeah, we spoke about the Nightbringer, didn't we?
I mean,
This is such a cool model.
it is. There's just a number of. I'm gonna have to buy it multiple times because there's a couple of conversions I'm definitely doing from it. But yeah, this I'm actually interested in. I'm genuinely interested. I'm going to pick up that 500 Worlds one, hopefully.
Did this mention a release date for that?
Nah,
No, I don't think that'll be before Christmas.
I don't know. I think it might be.
Do you?
Yeah, it might be a Christmas release, I reckon.
Okay. Well, yeah, I think this one for me and you, this is kind of asking more questions than it answered in this release. Yeah, you've got a look on your face there. I'm not sure what
It has. I don't know. I feel like they need to give us a little bit more info. I mean, from the releases, obviously we got it's the 500 Worlds narrative book system thing, and then they showed obviously the new units, which is Titus. Now he's not a lieutenant anymore.
which I quite like that sculpt, you know.
It was a cool sculpt.
Yeah, what was it? Second company captain?
Second company captain,
Yeah,
indeed. Yeah,
I like
he's
that.
promoted back into being a captain and the warden of Ultramar.
Yes. I don't understand that box with him in with the humans. I would be interested to see how that plays in game.
I get the Astropath.
Yeah, the astropath makes more sense than some of the the PDFs of, you know, some of the planets around Ultramar. In our system.
I don't really.
Don't get how that's gonna be relative. But I guess time will tell. But yeah, some nice sculpts. Again, though, it's hard to look past the Ultramarines, and I know it's a really boring cliche thing that, you know, people complain about the Ultramarines, but we've had a lot of Ultramarines this year, an awful lot of Ultramarines, and when we were talking before about what we'd like to see, I made a couple of comments about the previous release where we got new models for different chapters, didn't we? So we got the White Scars dude, the Iron Hands guy, Raven Guard guy, Salamander man. I was thinking this time maybe we'd get something from the successor chapters, you know, maybe we'd get a new Pedro Cantor, maybe we'd get, you know, Gabriel Seth, things like that. And yeah, that's kind of what I was hoping for. Maybe hoping against all hope. But on one hand, I'm sick of the sight of Ultramarines, which I'm sure a lot of people are. But on the second hand, this new narrative and perhaps new way to play 40k is really intriguing. So yeah, I'm excited to hear a bit more about it, to learn a bit more of the mechanics and how it would work. And who knows, maybe it's something that we make part of 2026, because we are rapidly coming to the end of the year, aren't we?
We are really getting to the end of the year. I mean, that's kind of the end of the reveals for it. I mean, so I'm hoping they're going to drop them soon.
So where did we go wrong then? If we think back to the last episode, we were thinking Plastic Titans.
Yeah, I still. I mean, the rumor is it's still coming, so I'm wondering if that's going to be Christmas Day.
You think?
Yeah,
Yeah. They were hinting heavily at it, so it's got to be coming, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I think so. I mean, we didn't get any of the stuff that they kind of shown on the rumor engine. So we didn't see any of the Fireslayer stuff. We didn't see any of the Ossiarch stuff.
No.
But I'm guessing perhaps on Christmas Day, if they do show the roadmap for the next courtesy Battletome releases, we'll either see Fireslayers up next and Ossiarch.
Because they did have Nurgle in that last bout
Yeah.
that I've just remembered.
Yeah, exactly.
That last little teaser picture, didn't they?
So
So
did indeed. So it would make sense that they're showing those, and that would then be the triumvirate with one on the far horizon going into the summer month.
and Sodzor says the last one will be Fireslayers, but
I don't know, man, because if you look at what's come out previously, the last one that's come out was the Hellsmiths.
Yeah.
Was the last one, right? So if they did Ossiarch next, that would be a lot of death and chaos in one go.
what
Whereas if they did I mean, yes, we have had
what was
Hydeneth. We've had Hydeneth, and Caradron.
was Ideneth the last one?
Nah, the last one was Health. Yeah, it was the last
Order.
It is the last Order one.
And when was that? Summer?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember it coming out and being underwhelmed because neither was like wet elves.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Okay.
So I think maybe we see. So if we see back, we'd have all of the death factions.
Yeah. So you think they might want to wait for that and give us
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well,
It's coming up to mid edition now, aren't we? So
we are. So yeah, it's a good shout. So yeah, we'll see. I think 2026 is looking good. I mean, I think we're going to do an episode where we kind of wrap up the year and we'll probably chat about Christmas down the line. But yeah, I'm excited for what 2026 is going to bring based on what we're seeing from these releases. It's really good to see that this hobby seems to be in a really good position and that every sort of near enough every game, every specialist game is getting some love. I know they didn't do anything about Blood Bowl, but even Blood Bowl got
But it's just got season 3.
yeah. So Blood Bowl's covered everything but Warcry really.
Yeah.
Of
Yeah, it is. Which
Underworlds didn't get anything, but Underworlds has just had its huge thing.
Warcry has actually technically had something.
Yes, it
It got
did.
the warband, didn't it, for Hellsmiths?
Yes, this is very
It got the
true.
rules for that,
And
so
they did seem to make that overtly make a point about that. So
yeah.
yeah,
Maybe we'll see a new edition of it. It's like Kill Team seems to be remarkably popular.
yeah,
So we'll see what happens there.
yeah,
But perhaps because Spearhead's so popular, they don't need two Lost Leader
yeah, maybe.
factions, but
Yeah,
small games. But we'll see what goes on with it there. I'm really excited as well. So there's a wodge of stuff that I think we know is coming that they've hinted at and we've not seen revealed yet. So going into 26, that sounds exciting, doesn't it? So
yeah. I'm looking forward to 2026 already. But yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up what we were shown.
it was a good release. I
Was
enjoyed it. It was a good reveal. I think there's definitely a wodge there. Hopefully, we'll find out the prices soon, and we'll be able to cover that in another segment before we record the rest of the show. Yeah, we've got out there. Shall we play some? Shall we play some Underworlds, and then we can talk about that later on? Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah. All right. Let us know what you guys thought as well of all this. I'm sure we'll mention it in the wrap up, but it's no harm in doing it now.
no.
Did you enjoy it? What did you think? Did you get everything that you wanted? Did you get nothing you wanted? Let us know. And yeah, do you really like Ultramarines? And if you do, why?
Well, everybody does, don't they? Seems like everybody does and nobody does at the same time.
Nobody wants to admit it. That's how it is.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay, so we're back in this again. Right. Hobby updates. And so we've talked about the reveals, but there's stuff that we've been doing before all of that good stuff actually drops. Hopefully some of it'll be before Christmas. So what have you been up to, Will?
Not as much as I'd have liked, to be honest. I've not got any painting done, which I really wanted to. I've built and primed the Hounds of Morkai, that I've kind of adapted into a kill team. I know they were a kill team, but with the rules changed, they were one shy and the weapons loadout wasn't right. So yeah, I've done a bit of work on them to make them a fully fledged kill team. Not to play with, just as a more of a painting challenge. I think I mentioned it last time round, didn't I? But yeah, I've got them built and primed. Apart from that, I've just been so busy at work and, just adult life at home. Done a lot of reading, made some plans, bought some more models, but bit of a lack on the practical front. So
Any hobbying at the end of the day.
yeah, that's it. It's still enjoyable. Yeah, I've done a lot of reading, which I really like to do. It's nice to be back in the swing of that. Yeah. What else have I done? Yeah, not as much as I wanted to do. But made some plans. Got plenty to do and cooking up some ideas together, aren't we? So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, bit quiet, but there's things going on in the background, I'd say.
That's what you want. It's better than no, isn't it, at the end of
Yeah,
the day?
yeah,
So on my part, what did I get up to? I painted the Underworld, a shut,
yeah,
Horny Dwarfs warband, didn't I?
yeah,
So that's done. I
yeah.
enjoyed that. I have now scratched the small dwarfish shaped itch. I don't need to paint any more of those. I'm happy about that. So thank you for pushing those my way. I
You're
will
all good.
happily paint any other things that you've got that you're not particularly bothered about painting.
I'll take you
I
up
didn't
on that.
enjoy him as much as I thought I was gonna, you know? I
No,
did. I did and I didn't. Yeah. I think because I don't know. I found it quite difficult to kind of visualize how dark I wanted them. And I kept going back to that original color palette, from the Chaos Dwarfs from Fantasy Battles.
yeah, the
And
deep red.
yeah, I
Yeah,
couldn't get away from it, dude.
mm,
I genuinely could not get away from that. I tried two different schemes. I photoshopped another couple of schemes, and I'm just like, this is not going where I wanted. Had a look at what other people were doing, and I was like, everything seemed not right from the lore that I'd read.
yeah,
And I kept coming back to red, and then I ended up with the whole, well, from the bits of the lore about them only using unaligned chaos energy, chaos demons, so that because the idea is they didn't want us like start going and like grinding up bloodletters in case they pissed off Khorne.
yeah.
They didn't want to do that with Zangors in case Zinj got a little bit twitchy with them. So they were
I
just
see.
like, right, I'll just go get me some unaligned demons, just your generic run of the mill, mongrel demons, grind those up. And then I kind of ended up coming back to ironically, my idea for the Slaves to Darkness, where in my head canon, the unaligned chaos color is that fuchsia pinky one.
Yeah.
So I ended up painting that as the glowing effect again, but that against the red, which I again couldn't get away from, it didn't work. The contrast wasn't there. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, they look
with
good
that
to me.
purple skin, it kind of yeah, I'm happy with it than the default color scheme.
Yeah.
But I think perhaps it's something that I need to give a little bit more thought to. I still
Okay.
think there's something about the sculpts as well. I definitely like them more than when we first looked at them when they came out.
Yeah.
And perhaps I think some of that came from reading the battle tome and getting a little bit more into the lore. But yeah, I think the itch being scratched now, and I'm certain that I wouldn't want to go really any further than like a war band or an underworld band with them. Certainly wouldn't
That,
delve any further.
that's good to know. I mean, at least you've kind of confirmed it for yourself, so that's not a bad
Hmm.
thing at the end of the day, is it? Yeah. I mean, I've seen them when I was round at yours, we gave Underworld a go, didn't we? Which I'm sure we'll touch on. But yeah, I mean, even seeing them in the flesh, I'm still not taken with them. So nothing's changed my mind about them, to be honest. But your paint job was
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, cheers, dude. Nah, I think as well the scale of them next to some of the other stuff really I found really jarring as well.
Yeah.
I don't know what I expected, and I can't reconcile. So this is an interesting conversation. I'm sure we'll pick this up at some point in the future, and this is one that I think you'll have some really interesting insight to. How do you scale a dwarf against a person? Because it's not just a size thing, is it? It's a stature thing. So we're
Yeah.
predisposed to, I think, thinking of a miniature human.
Which isn't the case.
It's not the case, is it? Because these guys are very much, pretty much the same size as
Yeah.
well.
They To me, they didn't have the build of the Fire Slayers, and I don't know if that's intentional or not, but the Fire Slayers are quite overtly muscly, aren't they?
Mm,
That's part of their DNA.
yeah,
Physically and metaphorically, I guess. And the Hellswers definitely are not. So I think I've kind of always got that in the back of my head. And then I've not put the two models actually side by side. So maybe that's something that we need to do at some point, just to see what the comparison is like between the two.
that's a really good point.
Yeah.
We could have a dwarf Ofcom. We could get
I
like an overlord as well,
Yeah, we
and
could. I think the
see what the
Overlord's
statue looks like.
yeah, the Overlord's stature seems better to me, but again, I don't know if it's maybe something to do with the sculpt on the robes that the Hellsmiths have that kind of it almost covers up the physiology a little bit, doesn't it? So it's harder to tell, but I didn't think that at all with the Overlords because I have the Overlord spearhead, don't I?
Mhm.
The
You
first
do?
one. Um Yeah, that's an interesting point, actually. Yeah, maybe next time we'll stack all the 3 types of dwarfs together and see what we can deduce from them.
Oh, yeah, I'm down for that. I think that would be an interesting one to do.
Yeah.
Um, Other than that, I finished all of the basing for my what they call the Gloomspike Gates spearhead,
Oh, you were printing them
plus a couple
off.
of other bits. Yeah,
Yeah, I remember you mentioned you were printing them off.
so those are all printed off. They're all on said right size bases now. I
Nice.
think I've just got I've got another 5 squig hoppers. I think they're called squig hoppers. Are they
Yeah,
called squig hoppers?
I think
Yeah,
so.
I've got another 5 of those to build, and then I'm ready to prime and get those painted. I've got a
Nice.
really simple paint job in mind, and most of I think the emphasis of those is going to go on the base,
Yeah,
which will be quite good fun. So they're all nice and ready to go. I did a little bit more work on Vordry and the Vampire Lord on Nightmare Steed.
yeah.
I'm I keep it's one of those projects where I need to stop at some point because it's just I'm not happy with Vordry, but I think that's because I like that model so much. And
You
it's a
want it
case
to be
of
perfect, yeah.
yeah,
I know what you mean.
yeah. Sometimes you've got to know when to stop, haven't you, and move on to the next thing. But
I think I'm the opposite. I don't know when to start. So I've got a couple of models that I really wanna do justice, and I'm almost I don't wanna use the word scared, but I guess that's probably the closest word that I can think of. Um, I'm a little bit scared to start them because I wanna make sure that I'm in the best form I can be to do them, if you know what I
Mhm.
mean. So,
Which models?
Gotrek, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Gotrek, Ragnar Blackmane as well, built and primed him. Did I tell you?
You didn't tell me, and we did
Yes,
talk a lot about Ragnar Blackmane yesterday.
we did, yeah. Soph bought me him. I can't remember, yeah. I was
Oh, no, you
absolutely
did,
did I?
you mentioned it, you didn't you told me
Yeah.
that she bought you him, but you didn't show me him.
Yeah, sorry, I was completely fried from work yesterday. I mean, he's built just, as you'd expect him to be. There's nothing I haven't converted him, I haven't done anything different, but yeah, he's definitely one I wanna do justice, so I won't paint him until I've painted the other Space Wolves, so, I get the armor color that I want and the shading and, all the highlighting, make sure that I do him justice, and I'll probably wait until I finish my Fire Slayers before I do Gotrek. I mean, even though he's gonna be different because he's not gonna have the different sort of colour hair and the different colour skin that I've done on my Fire Slayers. I wanna make sure I get that bright orange right for his hair and get the flesh tone right because the flesh tones I've used and the hair colours are different to what you would normally see. So, yeah, that's gonna be part of 2026's plans. So,
That's fair dues, I think. Speaking of Ragnar Blackmane, right, so me and Will were talking yesterday, guys, and I was convinced, absolutely convinced that I'd read or heard somewhere that there was some possibility that, you know, somebody had just thrown out there via something that had been written in some recent law that Ragnar Blackmane could be could be chaos tainted, and I cannot find reference to this anywhere. I was
I
telling
know.
Will about it, and Will was like, "Really? Really?" And I was
You dangled a carrot in front of me and then left and went home, and I was sat trying to find this online, and then I came to the conclusion that you either misheard or you've made it up to wind me up.
I was
You were sure, weren't
100%
you? Yeah.
I was really convinced I'd heard this somewhere or read it somewhere. So if anybody does know what I was talking about, was I just talking complete rubbish? Because we were in a work-induced delirium, and then there was a very real possibility that we consumed way too much sugar,
Yeah, we did,
and
and
we're just overly
caffeine.
excited, and caffeine.
Yeah.
But, yeah, let us know, drop us a message or, hit us up on the Discord, whatever it is, because I would be really interested to know that. Because
Yeah.
I'm still sure I had a quick search earlier as well, and I couldn't find anything, so I don't know. Perhaps
Yeah.
I'm totally wrong,
Let us
but
know if anybody else knows anything, or if you just have any cool, wacky ideas, let us know
mhm.
because we have plenty of them.
It seems like yeah, yeah, whatever. What else have I been up to anyway then? So, that's all done. The gits are done, the git mob's done, ready for painting, and I think I'm ready to move on to some terrain then as well. So I'm pretty much there with the soul blight stuff being 100% done. Like I said, I've got Vordry, the Night Misty just to finish off. Blades of the Hollow King are primed and prepped, ready to go. So other than that, I've got the Mausoleum just to paint
Okay.
the
Yeah.
the Sigmarite Mausoleum
Yeah.
from a while back. So that'll be done for the train, and then that's kind of that entire faction done, and that's going to be my main faction. So I can move on to other bits and pieces of projects then. I think that's all the modeling stuff I've done. I've played a good amount of Space Marine as well because, like as with you, work's been a little bit hectic, so I've not
Yeah.
had as much time to get into painting projects as I would normally do, and I've done like a fair few edits to various videos and stuff for my own stuff. So that's taken up a little bit of time. But I've been really enjoying Space Marine 2, and
Yeah.
that's been a big time sink.
Yeah, I think you've had more chance to play than I have over the last couple of weeks, haven't you? Sorry, there's fireworks going off if anybody can hear that. It's that time of year. But yeah, we jumped on one night this week, didn't we? I can't remember. Start of the week we jumped on and had a couple of hours, didn't we? And that was fun.
Yeah.
I feel you've definitely leveled up further than I have now. I feel like I've got to catch up to you.
Now, you're not that far behind.
No, I
It was
know,
just that
but I
one
don't want
class
to be I don't want to be behind at all. Now it's a challenge.
oh my days.
Yeah, but I'm glad you've moved away from assault because assault I do like assault. I mean, I like Vanguard as well, but you've moved back to heavy, is that right?
Yeah, I'm about
Yeah.
halfway through, the first re-up of heavy, so I think I'm on level 12, 11, 12 of heavy now. I've
Of the
done,
second tier?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
second, no, 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 first tier. First tier was
first tier.
heavy. I've
Okay,
done complete 25 reset perk for assault,
that's right. Yeah,
and then I've jumped back into heavy. I did play a bit of PvP when you were very rudely not playing with me online, and I couldn't find anybody. Nobody wanted to play with me, that I actually wanted to play with. Anyway, so I ended up playing some PvP against randoms. Didn't enjoy that at all.
I've only
Just
played
not for me.
PvP once and I got battered.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It did take me a while, to be fair, like a good few games to get into the swing of how to play that again,
Yeah, it's something
and
I'll go back
I
to.
just don't enjoy it. I
No.
don't enjoy it. I'd rather play Quake.
Yeah,
Rather
I'll
play
give it
Quake
a
than that.
go another time, but, I think for now, I think that game for me is more about playing with you. It's nice to sometimes I jump on if I get finished at work on time. I work from home, don't I? So I just run downstairs and I can get on for maybe an hour when it's just me in the house before Mrs. comes home and I've got to do the cooking or go shopping or whatever. Sometimes I'll do
Mhm.
that just for a bit of leveling up. But that game for me is playing it with you, like playing it with other people. Doing the PVE together.
Yeah.
That's the fun of the game for me, really. So yeah, I'm not in a massive rush to do PvP, but I kind of want to give it a go just to see if I'm still as bad at it as I was the first time.
I want to, I'm really excited for the new patch that's coming out, patch 11, that comes out this month, and
I
that
was gonna
brings a
say
new
it's
map
soon,
as
isn't it?
well. Yeah, so
Yeah.
it brings the new reclamation patch,
Mm.
and, I've kind of avoided playing on the public test server of that because I want to go in fresh with that. I'm probably gonna pick up the Blood Angels DLC as well, to be fair.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
I think I
I
will.
think so,
Yeah,
but,
I will
I
because I've
did
got the existing Blood Angels DLC, haven't I?
oh, I didn't know there was some already.
Yeah, it's not as fleshed out as say, like, it's not like the Space Wars one where you get the s- champion
The
skin.
champions,
Yeah, you don't
yeah.
get the champion skin on the Blood Angels one, but you get access to all the, successor chapter iconography and a few, different bits of armor, but yeah, it's not as big as, like, the Space Wars one or what's the Imperial Fists and
Mm,
White Scars, I think.
yep.
Yeah,
Dark
but
Angels, I've got one.
yeah,
Ultramarines.
I basically wanted to make a Flesh Terror Assault Marine. That's why I paid the £6 for the DLC and was
I
totally
can
worth it.
I can get behind that.
Yeah,
I mean, flesh towers are cool.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah. I do want to talk about some more Space Marine 2 stuff shortly.
Okay.
We'll do that once we've got to the hobby stuff, I suppose. What else has there been then? Am I thinking about anything? Oh, books.
Yeah.
Books.
Books is in your
I'm a
collection books.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's growing more, and I'm reading them as I get them. So before we go any further with this, I'm going to put like a massive shout out to Scythe Yoga. Thank you so much for the kind and generous donation of some books that you didn't want. So I threw them my way, and I'm super happy with that because there's some bits and pieces in there that I really wanted to read. There were one of them as well. This is something that we were talking about last night. Will the Mephiston
Yeah.
book from Psychic Awakening?
Mm,
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to getting involved with that next week. I've not read it.
that'd be
I had
interesting.
flicked through for it, so yeah, I'm really excited to have a look at that.
Yeah, for context, Scythe Yoga is our friend on our Discord server, isn't he?
Yep, very nice guy indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you so much for that. Really appreciated it. Um, Absolute gentleman and a scholar. In addition to those, I picked up some other books as well from the old FLGS. Got a got something else to talk about the FLGS as well. I had
Yeah.
a bad hobby experience, so we'll jump into that in a second. I think so.
Yeah, you had
I
a
only
quite
I
quite
only
the
picked
encounter, didn't you?
yes, it was. Hmm. But anyway, yeah, I picked up another couple of books as well. So I think I'm only 2 rule books missing now from the full 40K collection. I think I've got second and third edition to find,
Okay.
and that's I've got all 10 editions of the 40K rule books. I picked up as well. Oh mate, I need to show you it. I either need to bring it round or you need to come round here. Do you know that Vampire Counts book I picked up? So I
Yeah.
picked up a Warhammer Fantasy. I've been picking up anything to do with the vampires from
Yeah.
Warhammer. Oh my days, dude. There is some artwork in there, and it is like
Next level stuff.
glorious, dude. Comparatively to what we get now, it is like it's horror,
Yeah,
like 100% horror. So there's some early flesh eater stuff in there. I think it's the third version of the vampires, vampire counts
I think I
battle
know
book,
which
but
one you mean, but I can't be sure. Well, yeah, I'll check it out next time
you
around, or next
really
time
need
you come
to.
around. Yeah.
It is, it is
I love their old
really,
aesthetic.
really beautiful artwork in there. I mean, some of it's just like sketchy line drawings, and then there's some really nice black and white stuff. But the the stylistic difference between it compared to what we get now, and I realize it's a totally different audience, but this is exactly why I wanted to start collecting all of these books, and I've been
Mm.
reading through the lore, and then to see this artwork. I mean, I know you can find it online, but there's no fun in that for me.
No,
Just
it's nice to
when I
have it in your
sat,
hands.
it is,
Yeah.
and I was once I sat here and I started looking through him, and I was so excited to tell you about it and to share it with somebody because it is great. I mean, loads of people just get rid of these old books, and they don't. Perhaps that it's not the side of the hobby that they're interested in, whereas
Yeah.
it is for me. It's all about the world.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll talk about that when we're talking about you seeing it.
Mm.
And this is a prime example of what it is. I'm just excited for it, and that coupled with the psychic awakening stuff, because I forgot there was a Dark Angels book in that psychic awakening.
I didn't know there was.
Yeah, yeah, there's a
Ah,
Dark Angel one in there,
that's cool.
so I need to pick those up. I think I've got my feelers out to pick those up
Nice.
if and when I can.
I was gonna say actually, while we're on the subject of acquisitions, we haven't actually spoken about this. Do you want to talk about this on this episode of the podcast, of my recent purchases, or are we gonna wait until we've decided what we're doing before we talk about this properly?
Shall we wait?
Yeah,
There's been
we'll wait.
yeah, otherwise there'll be a lot in this one. Let's talk about it in the
Yeah,
next one
yeah, it's
because we haven't
exciting.
we don't have a plan for the next one, Will. I think
There you go.
we've got plans for what we're gonna talk about for the most part, all the way up
Yeah,
to mid-January, other than the next
other than
episode.
next
That
week.
would be the
Okay, well, there we
perfect
go.
opportunity to do that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, we'll tune in for that one then.
Plans.
Okay.
So, yeah, I think that I think that's everything for me. So, can I have a bit of a negative run? And I know we don't want to be negative. That's one of the things we said we wanted to be purely positive, and this isn't a negative Games Workshop
It
rant.
isn't, and I think the context behind this I would put is that we started this podcast so we can have discussions like this and with people that are similar to us and not the stereotypical. I mean, let's say what it is, neckbeards. Um, but yeah, you told me about this yesterday just after it had happened. But yeah, take the floor. What happened?
So I think there's a type of person that is stereotypical in the hobby, and I think a lot of people have the negative impression of, like you say, neckbeards, and people that might not perhaps I don't know what be as socially interactive as you might want to be, but I was at my FLGS picking up some books, as I say, and this guy came in and got involved in the conversation that I was having with another chap, and he was so oppressive. It was unbelievable. Anything that I said, he had more of. He'd done better. He'd painted more. He knew more about it. He'd been in the hobby longer. All of these things, but every single thing that I said, I was wrong about, or he had an opinion on, and it was just like, dude, just just step back, just chill out. There's no need to be confrontational, and this gentleman, we started talking about Kill Team. That's why he started talking, but he followed me around,
Yeah,
and it's a fairly large store, isn't it? It's a
it
fairly
is.
large space,
Yeah,
and he was following me around, talking at me, domineering at me, and it was just like to the point where I just had to leave.
yeah,
So I didn't end up picking up all of the things that I wanted to pick up. I lost out on it because I was just like, you know what? You're exactly the reason why I don't want to go into gaming spaces and be
yeah,
around that. And that's exactly like when we met, what I was very open about. I don't want to interact with people like that. And I
yeah,
don't ever want to come across as being that sort of annoying gatekeeper kind of person.
Yeah.
And then I felt really bad about it because I was like, well, maybe if I'd been a bit nicer to this guy and kind of tried to be more understanding and like offer at the end of friendship, like, oh, maybe we could play kill team because he was like, oh, I've nobody to play with. And then went into a diatribe about how like he had meta lists for all of his kill teams. I'm like, well, maybe
It's
that's what I do.
it's hard, isn't it? Because we're not rude people. We're nice guys. We can talk about pretty much anything to anybody when we want to. Especially when it comes to Warhammer. We're passionate about it. We started a podcast to talk about Warhammer. We love this. But I know exactly what you mean. It's kind of the whole basis for our friendship is that we were both looking for the exact opposite of that, and it is the reason why we don't go to a lot of the things that are local to us because that is it is a stereotype of this community that we're trying to not be around, and it is difficult. It is one of the reasons why I don't go to Warhammer shops very often because I've had that same interaction 100 times, and even if yeah, like I said, I don't wanna bash Warhammer shops or anything, but I've gone in for a browse or just to pick up a model to paint or, gone in to look at the books or whatever, and I get pounced on, maybe by a member of staff that's trying to sell me more than I want or trying to tell me that this is gonna perform better on the table, and that's not why I play the game. It's not why I choose to paint what I wanna paint. I think it's fairly obvious when somebody wants to be left alone, or if you're having a conversation with somebody else that, is a fairly private conversation between, I know the person that you were speaking to, you two know each other very well. You have done for some time, and it's clear that you have a relationship already, and it's a strange dynamic. I wasn't there, obviously, but I can 100% picture how that happened, and it's something I've seen before.
Yeah, it did kind of color it a little bit for me. I'm not gonna lie, I felt pretty dejected after, and then I felt bad as well for kind of having a rant about the guy. And like I say, perhaps I could have been a little bit more understanding. But sometimes when it's
I didn't
that
feel like you had a
oppressive,
rant to me. I mean, you came straight from the LGS to my house, didn't you? Because it's only down the road. But I wouldn't have said you had a rant. I mean, we had both just finished a full day at work. We both needed some caffeine immediately. And yeah, we'd come straight out of work mode, needed a coffee and needed to sit down and chill and relax. And yeah, I wouldn't say you had a rant, but we discussed it.
yeah. So I think the long and the short of it was for me is that I'm not going to stop going there, but I hope I don't have to speak to that guy again because it'd be just like that was that was one of the hardest interactions I've had while remaining somewhat pleasant.
Yeah.
And yeah, 'cause there's another chap came in as well, and the other guy, I can't remember if I told you the other guy that came in just as I was leaving, he got embroiled in the conversation as well, and the other gentleman was a little bit more introverted perhaps than
Okay.
myself, and I think this guy was a little bit um I think oppressive again is the right word to him.
Yeah.
Like, "Why are you buying that?"
Yeah.
And I just want to say, "Well, what's it got to do with you, what this guy is buying? Let
Yeah.
him buy whatever he want, whatever makes him happy.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
let him get on with it.
That's my
He
mentality.
don't care that you've got more of it or what you're working on at the time. He didn't ask you.
Yeah.
Don't sweat your opinion out. Just let the guy enjoy what he wants to enjoy."
Yeah, that's it. I never liked going into a game shop, and literally pick up a box of models to then get told by somebody who's either a member of staff or somebody that's just hanging out in the shop that, no, you don't want to buy that. You want to buy this. I'm like, no, mate, I know what I want to buy. I'm a grown man. This is my money. These are the models I want. That's all there is to it. You don't need to chip in unsolicited advice or opinions. I don't need them. I, you know, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah, that's it. And yeah, he had some opinions as well that were wrong, and he was one of the kinds of people that didn't like. No, I don't mean sorry. There was part of the conversation was where he was talking about dates and times and editions where he was wrong,
So facts
and
that
there
were
was
wrong.
like,
Yeah.
yes, there were edition there was stock in the shop which had dates on it that I literally picked up, and we could show him the dates were wrong, and it was just like it was so like it's like, "Dude, you were wrong. Just own it.
Yeah.
Move on. Nobody cares. It's this is all fantasy.
Yeah.
We're all grown ups here. We're literally all adults in as 40s and 50s, just
Hang on. 30s for some of
in
us.
that room at that time.
Oh, right, okay. Sorry, I thought you meant in general.
No, no, no,
Yeah.
no, no, no. It's just like, mate, mate, come on."
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, rant over about that. So yeah, that wasn't a fun interaction.
No, I can imagine, but
But on a positive note, it's a fantastic local game store.
it is.
Fantastic people hang out there, and yeah, who knows? That guy might have had a really bad day as well. And
Yeah, that's it. We don't know, but yeah, I mean, props to our local game store. I mean, we wouldn't have met otherwise, would we? So,
no,
gotta give it credit for that. So,
yeah, absolute legend. Anyway, more positive stuff than or is it positive? Is it positive? I've got something else to talk about. Well,
go on, throw it at me.
so we talked, didn't we? Or you mentioned earlier about Underworld. We
Yes.
played it. We
Yeah.
watched the reveals, and then we recorded the previous segment, and then we played some Underworlds. That rule book is atrocious.
The rule book is terrible. Yeah. It's
It's
tiny. It's not worded very well. I mean, without sounding big-headed, we're two well-read dudes, right? We've played games before.
mm,
We know how
yeah.
rule books work, and it was hard to follow.
Really struggled with it.
Really ambiguous in parts as well, wasn't it?
Really struggled with it. So it almost felt like it was a supplement to something that had expanded, like was covered previously. And I'm like, well,
Yeah.
this was the rule. 'Cause I actually double checked when you were like, this is the
Or even a
Ember
condensed
Guard starter
version.
box stuff. I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, we're not reading the wrong rules. But yeah, I found that rule book really, really badly written. But on the back of that, then thinking about Space Marine 2 as well, and I know
Yep.
that's not Games Workshop, it's Relic. Is it Relic?
I
It
think
is
so.
Relic. Is it? Yeah. But again, QA from G Dubs, you would think that it's like that's their IP, they've got something in it. I think Space Marine 2 is really inaccessible as well in terms of like how the leveling up works, how the various currencies, how the perk tree works, and all of that.
Yeah,
It
you had
doesn't.
to show me how to, redeem some of the, I can't remember what they're called, redeem some of the points that you can convert into currency, the ordeals. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
yeah,
it.
it wasn't overt as to how you did that, but it worked out really well because I picked up so many and didn't know that I could cash them in effectively. So I went through and I felt like an absolute bandit after that.
Bandit, an absolute bandit. That's such a wonderful term.
But yeah,
So
I get what you mean.
I think there's something there. Games Workshop would benefit from going forward is to like do some QA around the rules and perhaps do it with more casual people as well. I know that like a large part of the audience isn't casual, and certainly I'm not a casual gamer. Yes, I don't play things like Call of Duty and stuff, but I've been playing video games for many,
As have
many,
I, yeah.
many years,
Do you know what,
and I found that one really, really hard.
it'd be interesting to see what Dark Water's like when that gets released and the rules
Well,
around Dark Water.
yeah, that was exactly gonna be my point. I
Oh,
wonder how that is gonna translate over into something that's meant for a
yeah.
casual, like, literally built for a casual audience as an entry point into it. Much like Underworld, my understanding is this edition of
Yeah,
Underworlds is meant as an entry point into that world, and I was like, "Oh, okay," because it does have like, that Let's Play thing, doesn't it, on there? Like, you get on some board games, you get dice access to dice and stuff, which is a beautiful resource. I love it. It's when we were playing, when I was teaching my wife to play Carcassonne and um, the Mists of a Carcassonne expansion that we recently started playing,
yeah,
we used dice to walk through it, and that was really good to be packaged in there because it meant they could keep the instructions super light,
yeah.
and they had really nice explanatory videos, and then they do have that inside of the Underworlds thing. So like, after you left, I had a watch of that video. Atrocious. It's just it's just bad, man.
Yeah,
It's just bad.
yeah, I mean, I think when you've got 2 grown men, um, well read, fairly well educated. One of us is, one of us isn't, I guess. Um, that are struggling to get their head around a rule book over the space of an afternoon. It's quite telling. When we know how to play Warhammer, it's yeah,
It,
it's a
it,
strange one.
it is. I found it really hard, but on the flip to this, I think I'm really going to enjoy it now that we've kind of dropped the game mechanic.
I do, yeah, I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah, I think once we get his heads around it and we get some reps in, I think it will be quite fast paced, and I think it'll open us up to be able to play more in a short space of time if we don't have the time to even have a game of Spearhead because I mean our Spearhead games do take quite a while because we tend to do it straight after work, so we have a break and we have some food in the middle of it and we catch up because we might not have seen each other for a week or two and yeah, it's we don't rush through it, but I feel like this is the kind of game we could play. I think I've said it before over a coffee or something,
Mhm.
if we met up halfway, grabbed a coffee somewhere, took that with us. I think it would be quite easy to transport as well. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
100%.
So I feel like it'll add to how do I say, add to the gaming arsenal.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's just nice, isn't it? Play something in that setting.
Yeah.
I'm definitely not going to get into the deck building thing though.
No,
I'm just going to play
I
with pre-built ones.
yeah, I've tried my hand at some deck building games, before, um, and as much as I liked it, it depended on the IP really, and it's not what Games Workshop stuff is about for me. It's not Warhammer to me, but, I can
Mm.
see why some people would like that, um, but I'd be quite happy with the stock decks, playing it that way because 'cause we're not gonna we're not playing it for any other reason than to have fun, are we? We're not gonna we're not trying to constantly one up each other or create a deck that's unbeatable. That's not our style.
Nah. I suppose the only difference is with the various decks is if you're playing a team that has a certain synergy with a certain deck type. So I noticed on the back of when I was at the FLGS yesterday. Again, I didn't get a chance to have a real proper good look at the stuff. But it had a couple of the decks there that had the mastery type that were meant for death factions.
Okay.
So I don't know what the different deck archetypes necessarily are, but I wonder if there's that kind of gives more variation to the teams because I think a lot of the variation in the teams probably comes from having certain deck types that have the utility for it. But I
I'd
don't
assume
know the
so.
game system enough to.
We'll get there, won't we?
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll
yeah.
get
I'm
there.
I'm excited to play it again. I'm hoping
Yeah.
we can try it in the near future.
Yeah.
Hmm. Right. What else do we going to talk about?
Are you reading anything at the moment?
Right.
Novel-wise?
Oh, I can't remember what I just started. Oh, Manflayer,
Oh, yes. Yeah,
the
you were telling
Fabius
me about that.
Bile one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Who I think again, thank you to Sai. One of the other books is a Fabius Bile one, and he
Ugh,
is one of my favorite 40k characters.
yeah.
So
You have to let me know what you think, because 'cause I've not
yeah,
read that one.
do you know what? I honestly thought I'd read Manflayer before, but I've not.
No,
No, I'm sure I've definitely read one by Fabius Bile book. I can't remember what it's called.
I haven't. I've kind of absorbed knowledge when he appears in other books and, just from what you see online and
Oh,
everything like that, so
Gene Father. It was Gene Father that I read.
oh, yeah, okay, yeah, I
That's the
know that
Fabius
one.
Bile. Yeah, because there's three in there. It's the Fabius Bile trilogy. There's Manflayer, Gene Father. I don't know what order they come from. Gene Father and Fabius Bile.
I'll take your word for that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
so I really do like him as a character. I think he's really interesting.
Yeah, I don't like him, but he's interesting, but I think that's the point,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, exactly. And it's the same thing with Belisarius Cole, but I think I do like him. I f-
Yeah, I'm not sure, yet. I need to read up more about him, but, yeah, I've got a bit of a backlog that I'm working through before I decide that I'm gonna commit to, you know, new titles. I wanna work through what I'm currently working through before I add more into the mix, so
I was surprised after I found out what that book was that I was telling you about that you hadn't already read it 'cause it seems that it's part of the Horus Heresy
yeah, I've
stuff.
skipped a lot of the novellas. and
Yeah,
it's a novella, isn't it? I was
it is.
just looking at that, pulling it up on my phone to remember what it's
The Last
called.
Church.
Yeah, because that sounded super cool when you were telling me about that. So,
Yeah,
yeah, I'll
yeah.
probably because that's a novella, I'll probably shoehorn that in to what I'm currently reading. So, yeah, I'm excited for that because you painted a really cool picture of that.
I think from, to move our conversational narrative forward
Yeah.
in a slicker manner, I think your observation of what we both like different about the Warhammer universe is, I think it'll be interesting to see how you respond to that book, because for me, I found that hugely compelling and influential in my understanding of not the characters, but the zeitgeist
Yeah.
almost of how people's perception of certain elements are in that universe. That worked for me, and it'd be interesting to see how you find that as a juxtaposition to strong characterization,
Yeah.
of which I wouldn't say from an analytical standpoint in there. There is much. The characterization is the setting.
Okay.
So it's a yeah,
It'll
I'm
be a
excited for
different
you
one
to
for
read
me.
this.
Yeah.
Really excited for you.
This came about on the back of a conversation that we were having where we like what we like about Warhammer and the novels, especially. I like the character driven side of things, where you're more the. How would you word that? How would you word it?
Well, what we said was, I think, let's give it some context, shall we, and try and figure it out together. Oh,
So
I went very lectury then.
how far back do we go? So
But we're talking about characters, weren't we, in the
mm,
first instance?
yeah, I was on one of my rambling, waffling lectures about the Horus Heresy and why you should read it all. I think
You,
that's where it
you went
started.
Horus Heresy, Jehovah's Witness. You
I
just
did.
wanted to talk about the Horus Heresy for a long time,
I did. Yeah. I think the
and that
caffeine
was
had
good.
kicked in.
When I say talk, you monologued about the Horus Heresy for a lot,
I
but
did. Yeah.
I learned a lot of stuff I didn't know last night.
Well, call that a
So
success then.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I've come away like more interested.
Mm, but
So that's always positive.
yeah,
So
that's good. But yeah, that's how this sort of conversation came about, wasn't it? So
yeah, and I think you had the epiphany, didn't you? That what we found more interesting than saying for you, it's the characters' stories and how the characters interact
mhm,
against the background of the 41st millennium or the 30th millennium. Whereas for me, the characters are almost transient because the span of time is so vast. However, I find the setting and that the stalling of the technological advancement and how it's almost a regression, and how in the far future that bleak darkness that they convey is almost a character in itself
yeah,
that doesn't have a personification, because the characters just don't have any of the gravitas or weight to kind of convey how bleak that setting is. And that's what I find really appealing about it. So when we kind of came to that realization, we had a longer conversation, didn't we, around that, where we came to the realization that yeah, that's it. Whereas you have like a almost a pantheon of characters that you feel emotionally attached to, whereas
yeah,
I I couldn't even give you a character in Dark Angels who's my favorite 40k chapter that I'm emotionally attached to, that I have any type of resonance with, other than knowing something about them. Like Asmodai, probably my favorite Dark Angels character. I don't really care. I won't be bothered if he died or he
yeah,
was taken out of the law, you know, it moved forwards. But
yeah.
it's the
I think on a sorry to talk over you
no.
there. The way I look at it is I'm always character first. So we'll probably talk about this in the next episode, but yeah, I've got a plan in my head for something, in the 40k universe, and it was all set around one character, essentially, of why I've chosen to do what I'm going to do. And I suppose you could probably put that logic towards when I came back to the hobby, why I went for dwarves. Looking back, with hindsight, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? So, yeah, I think for me, I was the whole conversation started because we were talking about Gavial Loken, weren't we? And I kind of gave you a broad analogy of his timeline, and we were talking about there's a bit in one of the books where he is tending a garden of this ruined chapel, and that's where this conversation came about. Where you said, "Oh, that sounds like it could be linked to this," and that's when you were thinking of the book that you mentioned. So
That's right.
that's how we got there. But it was a bit of a wacky conversation that went all over the place, and then, there was a bit of a light bulb moment where I just kind of looked you in the eye and I kind of realized, "Oh, this is we look at this in 2 very different ways, don't we?"
It was a very enlightening conversation,
Yeah, it was fun.
but useful.
Yeah, it was, and I think it gives me a lot more context as to why you like the 40K chapters that you like of Space Marines, why you like, the factions that you do in AOS. It kind of makes me realize, oh, I get it a little bit more now. I understand why you like the Dark Angels more because to me, I like if we use Space Marine chapters as an example, I like the ones I like because of the characters that are involved in
Mhm.
that chapter, whereas that is not the case for you. So yeah, and realizing that yesterday, it kind of gives me a new perspective on like why you like the things that you do. And I can tailor some of these chats that we have around that without me just talking at you.
Yeah, but I do think you shouldn't do that as well. You should feel free to talk at me because I learned a lot that I wouldn't have taken on otherwise, and I feel like my understanding of certainly of the heresy from some of the conversation we had yesterday has been expanded more, and that then brings expanded enjoyment into the setting for me, where I'm thinking about some of the things that do interest me more, and that can feed back into the conversations we have. So it's like a sounding board, isn't it? It's like a reciprocal relationship
Yeah,
there. It's almost like symbiotic that
it is.
one
Yeah.
thing leads to another.
It's just little things like I don't know how we got onto the subject of Khan last night, didn't we? And I was saying about when he was impaled by the spikes on the Land Raider, and you didn't know about
That's right.
that.
I had
And
no idea about
it's
it.
just these little things. And then we were talking about Huron Blackheart, and I gave you this sprawling diatribe about the Badab War conflict and the Lamenters, and I gave you a little bit more context behind that because you're always because I've created one of my characters on Space Marine 2 in Lamenter's colours, and you laugh at me about that because you're not a fan of them. But then I gave you a bit more context behind why, they do what they do and why they're this sort of strange chapter and why they don't really fit in. And yeah, it's just these conversations that we have almost accidentally that gives gives each other we give each other a bit of background that we don't know about because I go for the character driven stuff and you don't. So I learn things from you because I might pick this book up and go, that's not for me because I don't resonate with any of the characters in it and I might just put it down and not finish it. Whereas you might read it and then you put it in a different format when we're talking about it. So I kind of get it from osmosis from you.
It's bizarre, isn't it? These things that kind of like all start snapping into place.
Ugh.
This is good. This is why I like this setting so much and this hobby because there's always so much to learn. It's huge in its
It
scope,
is.
massive.
It's too big. You can't know everything about it, can you? Like there's always things where we were having these conversations yesterday, and then we were looking things up on our phones, weren't we? Like, we just needed to know the answers to some of the questions that we were posing each other. And I think I said, like, what did we do before smartphones and having the internet so readily available? Um, I can't remember, but in Warhammer terms, it's so handy to be able to check. Oh, who was the name of? I know that Space Marine, that we're trying to think of, and then we go, there you go, we've got it here. It's must be hell to not have that.
Do you know what would be really useful? And GW can steal this idea,
Go on.
but we've got things like Lexicanum, and whatever the other one's called, Warhammerpedia. If Games Workshop, G-Dubs, Warhammer, whatever they're called, as a company, as part of Warhammer Plus, had a search because they have an internal searchable database of facts, names, everything, how it's all linked together. They supply access to certain people, so that they're keeping it all of their IP together in the timelines and stuff, if they made that accessible by us
That'd be interesting, yeah,
as
because
part of the one, like a sanitized version of it that's,
yeah. I mean,
some shows
don't get me wrong, Lexicanum's good, but it's all fan submitted, isn't it? Similar to
exactly.
yeah, so you can never really take it as gospel, but, I mean, I think the stuff on there's always really good, so we do have that. But, yeah, I do like the idea of Games Workshop did an official version.
Mhm.
Um,
I mean, I wouldn't want to take away sales from, like, codices or,
True.
you know that said, codices aren't really they're not really they're not really vehicles for progressing the narrative rather because they'd take away you'd have to buy all of them and such if
Yeah.
you did. So, I suppose,
It might stop
like
people from buying the novels if they're
yeah,
summarizing it, summarizing maybe
true.
this character's death at the hands of X bad guy on this planet, because it's been canonified in a book, in a novel. It might stop somebody buying it, and it might act as a spoiler. So
Well, that's what I mean about having a version of that that was I mean, so take, for example no, you're right. Right, I was gonna say you would just things like, um, specific shades of color for a faction, like what color lenses do Dark Angels have? Or what armor pattern was prevalent at this like a fact stuff like that rather than
okay,
event-driven stuff that is part of the I mean, it'd be nice to have a timeline anyway, because I still think people would invest in buying those books for the story elements and the enjoyment of it rather than it just being a purely academic pursuit of looking at a timeline. But no, I totally get what you're saying there, and I can see why from a business perspective they wouldn't do that. Yeah, it's an tenable idea from my part for them to do that. So it's daft, but I would like it. It would be on my wish list of things to
yeah,
have access to.
we'd like it, but we know we're not going to get it.
Yeah,
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 okay.
that is very eloquently put. Hmm. Okay. So,
So yeah, all that came
well,
about because I said, "What book are you reading at the moment?"
and that's why last night was so fun.
Yeah,
So you went off on all kinds of tangents
we
and
did.
you know circular references back to things that we previously talked about,
Yeah,
like the concept of putting the Emperor in the Psi Titan, which would be still thinks a
I said
cracking idea.
put him in a boxy dreadnought.
I mean, why not?
It's not
Why
going to
not?
happen,
Would
but
he
it'd be
fit?
interesting.
Did you see the I don't know where it's from. I saw it earlier online. I meant to send it to you. It was a Blood Angels dreadnought with an apothecary trying to save it. Or was it a tech marine trying to save the
Oh,
dreadnought? And I was moved by that.
oh yeah, from the Warhammer Plus series.
Is that what it was from?
Yeah, it's so sad.
Yeah,
It's like I wanted to see the Skies of Baal one last time.
that's it. That's the one.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
yeah, yeah.
I honestly got goosebumps. Like I don't know how a Warhammer animation did that to me, but what does he say? Like, oh, the quote was, "There's not enough left of me to save a second time," something
That's it.
to that effect, and like really got me. I'm getting like hairs are sticking up on my
It
arms just thinking about it.
it was the part for me. He said something like, "I never thought I'd feel the breeze on my skin again
Yeah, yeah, because
when there's a big hole in the
shells ripped
sarcophagus."
over. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Have you not? I thought you'd watched that series.
No, no, I've not watched that one.
I can't remember what it's called. I think I spoke about it when way back on one of the first episodes of the podcast when we were talking about Warhammer Plus.
I don't think I've seen it anywhere.
Uh,
Maybe I have,
can't
and I
remember what
just
it's called.
forgotten about it because I've had a recent like I've since you got into Dark Angel, Blood Angels, I've started to be more interested in Blood Angels just
Yeah,
so that I know what you're on about.
Angels of Death. It's called.
Oh no, I have seen it. I have seen it. I don't know why I don't remember it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, how did you not remember that bit? It's
To be fair, I did watch a lot of it in bed, so there's a real chance I fell
you fall
asleep.
asleep. Yeah. No, it is quite moving. Which I was surprised at because that was one of the first things I watched when I subscribed to Warhammer Plus, and I didn't really have a lot of expectation going into it. Yeah, that one got me in the feels.
Mm. I might have to revisit that one because I did enjoy that little snippet.
Yeah, I mean that is the
Um,
best bit of it.
it is.
Yeah, but yeah, yeah. Thank you for making me feel sad on a Friday night.
Oh, I'm sorry. Shall I make you feel happier? No, that sounds wrong, doesn't it?
Nah, I'm
Shall
only
I
joking.
make you feel happy?
You
Um,
do make me happy.
give over. Um, we had some listener questions
We did, we had quite a
that
few this time
we
round.
had. We've had a fair few people join the Discord of late. So if
Yeah,
you have joined us on the Discord, thank you.
and welcome.
I hope you're enjoying it. Welcome everyone. It's nice to see you there. You're a cracking bunch.
Yeah. Yeah, we had some really, really nice chats. Obviously, most of it is Warhammer related, but, you know, a lot of real life stuff bleeds in. Yeah, we do complain about work and, you know, adult life quite a lot, but yeah, we have a laugh and it's a good little community. So if you want to come and join in, feel free. I think the link is in the bio on whatever you're listening to us on. If that's Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, look at the bio. The link to our Discord is there. It's also on our Instagram bio. So yeah, come and have a chat with us.
Do it. Yeah. Do you want to smash out some of those questions?
Yeah. So again, I think McKniferson, we mentioned him last time. He's given us another question, and he does have one of the best usernames I've ever seen, McKniferson. But yeah,
It is a pretty sweet username.
he's given us a couple. So I'll kick this one off for you, Wayne. If this is a contentious one, actually. So
Mm.
if
All right, go
20,
on.
are you ready? Sorry. Yeah.
I am
Cool.
waiting with bated breath.
So, if 2025 was supposed to be the year of chaos, in inverted commas, what do you imagine Games Workshop labeling 2026?
The year of 11th edition.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, he's also asked, what do you think the story is going to bring leading into 11th edition? So we can kind of
Oh,
almost bunch
crikey. All
them
right.
together, I would say. I mean, I've got an idea of what I think next year might be, personally.
Um, what the so we're talking about the larger narrative going into 40K, the grand narrative, how it's called. I don't know. I can see from what they've announced so far, like we've talked about with the 500 Worlds Titus stuff and
Mm.
the rumors that Cavill is going to be playing Titus in the series and such. I can see them positioning him as a major player, and bringing him kind of to the forefront almost as a spokesperson. So the stories featuring more Titus more of the time.
Yeah. Year of
It seems
Titus.
to have gone that way. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I can, as a follow on from that. I don't know what the Lord Ring, 'cause obviously we've had all of the rumors that it's going to be orc driven, but I think from what we've seen, certainly in the reveals and stuff, there is something of Necron's going to happen in there. So I think it'll be a threat on multiple fronts,
Yeah.
and I think they might get into that by having the reclamation of Ultramar, so the 500 worlds thing, almost as a melting pot, an attack on multiple fronts kind of thing, where we're starting to see, perhaps not entirely in 11th edition, but it does feel like we have to have some sort of resolution to the Citrix Maledictum,
Yeah.
so that we can have both both the north and the south parts of the Imperium join up, and we can have the Lion meet Gulliman,
Yeah.
and we can have some type of perhaps resolution to the Dante issue, where I think narratively Dante needs to die, and there's a whole swathe of interesting things you could do then with Mephiston that would lead into what's going on with Titus as well at the moment, and all of this backwards and forwards with chaos playing a part of perhaps not tainting main characters, perhaps Ragnar Blackmane, perhaps
Yeah,
who
maybe.
knows, you know. So I think that would be really interesting. I hope it's something along those lines, and it's not just orcs like it was. Just 10th edition was just
Yeah.
mids,
Yeah.
and it goes nowhere because 9th edition with the whole Arcs of Omen that didn't go anywhere
No.
in this edition. Really, I would love, personally, love to see Vash Tor take center stage and Dark Mechanicum. Dark Mechanicum would be enough to make me go in.
Yeah.
on 40K a little bit more.
Okay.
Certainly, even if I'm not playing the game, collecting stuff because I would love to have a battle between Dark Angels and Dark Mechanicum, and having some of the Dark Mechanicum being some of the actual fallen, not
Oh,
the
that'd be
re
cool.
yeah, some of the ones that were fully renounced, and I don't know. That sounds really interesting because, like, Vashtor is fire, no pun intended. He's just such a cool character, and the Dark Mechanicum is just so interesting to me, and how, again, from the conversation we had yesterday, as a setting, that lack of restraint and morals of just having, I don't necessarily think they're dark. I just think, yeah, all right, there's some chaos taint there, but
Yeah.
just doing something for the technology or for the science of it is just so
Yeah.
appealing to me. I think that's probably why I like Bile and Call so much, because they don't have those guardrails. And I think as a
Yeah.
narrative
Yeah.
um vehicle for exposition of the larger universe, that would be something I would genuinely love to see explored in 11th. What about you?
Okay. Um, I think if I go back to the question, what do you imagine Games Workshop labeling 2026? So we're gonna flip what you said a little bit. I'm not saying I disagree with it. I think it could potentially be something like Year of the Primarch. We're not a rumors podcast as such, are we? But there are a lot of rumors doing the rounds that there's going to be return of perhaps two Primarchs that I've heard of. Um, and I think we need something like that to progress the narrative. I know we've spoken about this before where we've sort of touched on what we think the future of 40K is going to be. But yeah, I think there needs to be some balance with how many Demon Prince Primax there are sort of knocking around at the moment, and the lack of that on the loyalist side. We've been having rumors that Russ is going to come back out of the warp. There's all sorts of rumors flying around, and I, I can just see it. I can see next year a couple of Primax coming back, and I think that's going to interact possibly with this 500 worlds thing, possibly in the grander scheme. Um, this is just a gut feeling. I don't really have a lot to go by, to give any sort of lore context. It's just my gut feeling. Um, yeah. So, two very different answers there, I guess, to that question.
Yours was much more succinct than mine. I need to
Yeah,
get better at
maybe.
brevity.
Yeah. But yeah, yeah, do you wanna jump to the next question, or do you
Yeah,
wanna
yeah,
talk
yeah,
any
yeah.
more about Primarchs or anything?
I think we should talk about that in a different
I
episode.
think we
We have a
should.
lot. Yeah, we have a lot of conversation about
I
it.
I made a note of something that we were talking about last night that was an idea from you that I really wanna hear you talk about on the podcast,
Did
so
you? Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
we'll leave
again,
that for
next
another one.
episode.
Yeah, okay. Okay, next question, again from McKnifeson. What's on your wish list for next year in both 40K and AOS?
For me, well,
Yeah,
Vashtor and Dark Mechanicum,
yeah,
definitely on 40K.
okay,
I would also perhaps like to see the Arcs of Omen
yeah,
story arc elaborated a little bit more.
okay,
I really want to see that happen because it was interesting.
okay.
So that would be my hope for 40K.
Yeah,
AOS wise, ooh, that's a good one.
yeah.
'Cause I don't know.
See, I took this question in a more literal sense. I was thinking, what's on my wish list? I was thinking physical items. What models am I hoping for next year? That's how I interpret that.
I think I think you're right. So for 40K Dark Mechanicum,
Yeah,
it's like I think as Dark Angel range is pretty fleshed out now.
yeah, it is. Yeah.
I would, yeah, I can't think there's any characters that I would like to see. Samael maybe, I think, but he's rumored to be getting a new character with the Raven Wing stuff that's coming out,
Oh yeah, his.
allegedly.
I really don't like his sculpt. I'd like to see
Yeah,
a
so
new one.
it's pretty old as Samael
It
one.
is. Yeah.
So I would like to see that. Perhaps I would really like to see something done with Gravis armor
Yeah.
for the Dark Angels. Yeah, because I don't like Terminators anymore. So I suppose it's a hot take. We've talked about it before.
We have.
I'm just not into them. I would like to see some like Deathwing Gravis
Okay.
would be cool.
Yeah, that would be
Uh,
cool.
I mean, I've painted my own
I
Deathwing
I
Gravis.
was gonna
That's what
say
I've
you
got.
could do that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So
That's
so
interesting.
that would be nice for 40K. For the fantasy stuff for AOS, sorry, fantasy. 'Cause man, I've
Mhm.
been reading a lot of those books. I'm not sure, but I would like to see perhaps them properly segment Soul Blight and the Skeletons if they're going to do that, and if they are, and I don't think they will do this because the range is so new, and there's so many other factions that need some love there.
Yeah.
I would like to see some other vampire characters coming into play 'cause
Yeah,
we've got rid of a lot of them, didn't they,
they
into
did, yeah.
Legends.
Yeah, they did.
However, Soulblight is still one of the larger named character factions. I think it's the second largest, along with Chaos and
Yeah,
Stormcast, in
yeah,
terms of named character units and stuff. So I don't think we'll get that, but obviously, I would like to see some of the other factions get some love, so that there's a little bit more synergy in the models.
yeah. Okay.
What about you?
Um, to be fair, if you have listened, this isn't aimed at you. This is aimed at the audience. If you've listened to any of the older episodes, if you listen to the Terminus degree one especially, you'll know that I think we need some new Grey Knights. I just want to do Grey Knights kill team. Wish list. I'm wishing that there will be an update, a bit of a range refresh for the Grey Knights. If you haven't heard my thoughts on that, check out the Terminus degree episode that we did a little while back. And obviously, no surprises here. New Fire Slayers. Again, I don't need to go too far into that because I've spun this yarn pretty much every episode we've done. I want some new Fire Slayers and I want some new Grey Knights. I'll answer that one quite succinctly, to use your term.
I think we'll get some new Grey Knights.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I definitely think
Yeah,
they're coming soon.
yeah, and I'm excited for that. Even if it is just a kill team, even if I don't even play with them, it's just something I want to paint more than anything.
Really?
Yeah, I really like them. I like the lore. Um, I really like that Grey Knights omnibus that I mentioned in that episode. I just think there's something really cool about them. I like the we were talking about this last night, weren't we? I like the fact that the original Grandmaster was a Thousand Son. I like I like that really deep lore, and I like that we got to see them almost the founding of them through the Horus Heresy novels.
Mm,
Through the Knights Errant.
yeah.
I like that a lot. So
Alright, fair.
yeah.
I think that's a good one.
Yeah, okay, next question, if you're ready.
Yeah, oh, wow, we have got a bunch of them then.
Yeah, this is still from Iverson. We haven't even got over to the rest of them, but, how's Path to Glory shaping up?
Alright, okay, good question. We haven't talked about it for a while, have we? So we're pretty much getting there with the prep for it. I know it seems like we've spent ages doing this. I'm sure you'll jump in on this one, but 2026 for us is going to be the year of gaming. I think everything that we need to play Path to Glory will be done, painted, completed
Yep.
by the start of the new year, so we can actually move forward with playing the campaign
Yeah.
and doing the gaming side of things. So as you will have already known, if you listen to the episode where we talked about the lore, we've got that. I've started to write a little bit more lore as well about the larger world, and I can't remember if we talked more fully about the gaming systems used to create some maps and stuff. So I've started to draw those out. So I'll be sharing those on the Discord in due course.
Yeah, we will.
And that kind of gives us that. The last thing that I've got to do in terms of prep, mentioned it earlier, is I've got the graveyard stuff to do that is some of the scenery for what will lay the foundation of where some of the fights will inevitably take place, and finish the Realm of Battle boards so that they're painted in the Shaishan theme that we want to carry over, so it matches our base themes and things like that. So yeah, it feels like it's been a long time in the coming. We've been talking about this for whatever episode this is, 10, 11 episodes, and this is the reality of the hobby though, isn't it? Sometimes like,
Takes
if you don't
time.
have all of the time in terms of
Yeah.
resources, it does take time. So yeah, it is definitely coming along.
Yeah, we've not
And,
forgotten about it.
yeah, I mean, part of the interesting thing for us, I think, is the build up to it as well, innit?
Yeah,
The
yeah,
gaming's
yeah.
fun, but
Makes
figuring
yeah.
it all out. So yeah, that's a really good question, and we hope that you will be as interested in hearing some more of that, 'cause there will be some, but we'll share all the visual stuff on the Discord. I might put my heraldry up there in the next day or so.
Oh, nice. That'd be cool. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have anything to add to that. I think you summed that up quite nicely. So, next question is from Throttle from the Discord. Wayne, what is your favorite GW game outside of AOS and 40k?
Kill Team, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it's technically 40K still, isn't it? But
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, Kill Team,
Yeah.
Kill Team 21.
Yeah. Caltine 21. Okay. Right. That was a nice, easy answer. Do you want to hear mine?
Go for it.
Middle Earth strategy battle game.
Who'd have thunk?
Yeah, who'd have thought it? You know, we're big Lord of the Rings fans. To be fair, it's the only other GW game that I have played. But I'm going back to when it was first released. So before it was even called Middle Earth Strategy Battle Game. I can't remember what it used to be called, but it was called something different at first, wasn't it?
Was it Battle for Middle Earth?
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess a lot has changed since then. I think when I picked it up, there was definitely more skirmish elements. And then I remember I kind of came away from it when they did I think it was called the War of the Ring, where they were looking at the bigger battles. That didn't interest me because at the time I didn't have a job because I think I was about 14 or 15 years old. So I couldn't afford to, field this massive army. So, but yeah, definitely Miller strategy battle game. I still like a lot of the models. Lord of the Rings has a big place in my heart, and it's a big part of my life still. I like collecting some of the models. I like painting them, knowing that we're probably not going to play it. It's just part of that different hobby for me. I don't really see it align with my Games Workshop hobby. It's just part of my broader Lord of the Rings love. So yeah, there is that. But yeah, apart from that, I haven't actually played anything else. So I've never played Kill Team. I never played Mordheim. Strangely, never played Blood Bowl, which is strange because I'm a big NFL fan. But yeah, and I'm not planning to be honest. So yeah, I think that's my answer to that. Next question again from Throttle. I'm going to direct this one at you first. What's the favorite miniature you've owned?
Oh, that I've owned.
Yeah.
Oh,
If you need to have a
that's a
think, I've got an answer ready for me.
go on then. Go on.
Mine is probably going to sound quite obscure. It is the old metal Chaos Lord that used to come in, the white metal blister packs. I think it was probably around 2003, 2004. He had some sort of combi melter on one of his arms. Do you know which model I'm talking about?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he had quite a dynamic pose. He was almost sort of kneeling on a metal scenic rock, and yeah, he was quite an imposing character. I can picture it in my mind's eye, but I had him around the time I bought a box of the classic Plague Marines. I think it might have been when they first got released in plastic, and it just takes me back to you know being 12, 13 years old, just picking a box of these models up purely because they looked cool, and then the Chaos Lord just in my own head so he could lead them. And they were just sat on my desk. They were painted atrociously because I had no idea what I was doing. But I remember I had a little hobby drill because my dad and my brother are really into scale modeling, trains and things like that. I think I've mentioned it. So they always had all the tools that I would need to do anything. And I grabbed one of their little hobby drills and I drilled 3 sort of circles in a triangle shape on the blank shoulder pad of that Chaos Lord to, you know, give him some sort of Nurgle allegiance, and I think that was probably one of my first ever, I'm gonna put this in inverted commas, sort of customization or conversion attempts that I ever did, so, yeah, I think it just takes me back to a simpler time, I think, and, yeah, it's just good memories of having that model, really. I think I was sat on the bus coming home from town and I had it in my hand and I just couldn't stop looking at it, sort of turning it over, trying to get it to turn around in the blister pack so I could see the back of it and just being really excited to get home and get the flash off him, get the mold lines off best I could, Yeah, it was good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So yeah, if you can you think of anything? It's a bit of a loaded question, isn't it? Because we've both owned so many models, haven't we?
I mean, owned implies past tense, doesn't it? So I can't think of any that I've owned and gotten rid of
Okay.
that I really had any type of attachment to.
Okay.
I think my favorite model that I currently own or have in my collection is probably my Glockhen.
Yeah.
It'll be either the Glockhen or the Great Unclean one, 'cause the Great Unclean one was my Jesus model for a long time.
Yeah.
But one of my personal favorite paint jobs that I've done is probably the Glockhen, and it went from being a model that I wasn't bothered about to being one that I was really, really happy and proud to have, to the point I entered it in a couple of painting competitions last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really do like that one. So probably Glockhen.
I'm gonna throw you a little bone here.
Go on
Where can the listeners see pictures of that model?
then. on on Instagram,
Yeah. What Instagram is that, Wayne?
it's Forge of Solace,
Forge of
of course.
Solace. Yeah, go check it out.
Forge
I
of
mean,
Solace.
I think I've said this before on the podcast. That paint job is unreal, mate. It really is, and I'm not just saying that because 'cause we're friends. It's stunning. So I would urge anybody to go take a look at that and to give Wayne a follow, see what he's up to. Like, yeah, there you go. Bit of
Ah, cheers,
promotion for you
dude.
there, mate. But okay. Um, next question. Did you have a dream mini when you were a kid that was unattainable? Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I believe I did,
Yeah.
and it was a mammoth.
Okay. And was it unattainable purely for cost reasons because you were a kid that
Yes.
didn't have a job? I assume.
Yeah, well, I can't remember when it came out, but ever since I first saw the mammoth, I wanted a mammoth. When I was a very young kid and I was first into Warhammer, so this is like the late 80s, um, probably one of the demons.
Yeah.
I really like the epic stuff as well.
Yeah.
I liked the Imperator Titan in Epic,
Mm.
because that was just like, why wouldn't I want a giant stompy robot with a cathedral in its back? That's like
Yeah.
so metal, it's untrue.
Yeah. I get it. Okay.
What about you?
I think it was Baneblade for me.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Do you like the Baneblade, don't you?
I
You're a
do. Yeah,
guard
I do
person, huh?
like guards. Yeah, it was more because me and my dad had a wacky idea of trying to motorize one. Because long story short, we ended up with a couple of remote control tanks, me and my brother that my dad had got us, and they could fire BB pellets, and they had this liquid that you could put in to mimic, diesel fumes coming out the back of it, and they were pretty cool. And yeah, we had the idea of trying to motorize a Bane blade. We never did it in the end because one, it was an obscene amount of money to chop one up without knowing that we could actually make it work. But yeah, Baneblade's always been a cool model just because of the sheer size of it. And I kind of forgotten about it until we went to Warhammer World earlier this year, and I saw one in the flesh again, and it all just came flooding back. And one day I'll get one. But yeah, I
Nice.
mean, it's strange now because when you're a kid, the question is, dream mini when you were a kid that was unattainable. There was a lot of minis that were unobtainable for me or seemed unobtainable because, you know, I was dipping in and out of Warhammer from probably being about 10 years old. And, yeah, don't get me wrong, I had a paper round and, I was getting a bit of cash in my pocket. And my parents were, fairly generous when, we wanted anything, me and my brother. So, if I'd have asked for some money for some Warhammer, if I'd washed the car for a couple of weeks or, cut the grass, I'd get 20 quid in my pocket to go buy a box of Space Marines or something. But yeah, it was always like the army boxes that were always the
Mhm.
unattainable sort of goal for me.
Yeah,
If it was triple figures, that was unattainable when I was a kid. So there was an awful lot, but yeah, the Baneblade was definitely one.
pretty hardcore model.
Yeah. I mean, looking back at it now, I'd love to have one, and I think one day I will get one, but it is, what's the word I'm after? It's sorry, I can't think of the word. It's quite daunting to think of putting that together, carefully and making it look good and painting it. Yeah, it's daunting. Don't know if that's the right word, but that's what I'm going with. But one day I'll do it.
I didn't mean mammoth at all. I
No?
meant mastodon, and I wasn't thinking of mastodon. I was thinking about the Thunderhawk gunship, wasn't I?
Yeah, I knew what you meant, strangely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
randomly. It's
yeah,
like yeah, mastodon came out way after. Yeah, it was a Thunderhawk.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, the metal one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, the one that came in the wooden box.
Did it come in a wooden box?
Yeah, yeah, there's like 500 of them or something.
Ah, okay,
They're
cool.
stupidly rare and expensive
Oh, I
though.
bet.
But
I bet.
it's massive, dude.
Yeah.
Massive. But I would love an original mastodon now.
Mm. Yeah, I think it
Where did they
appeals.
get mammoth from? What's a mammoth tank?
Uh,
Is that Command and Conquer?
oh, I
It is,
don't
isn't
know.
it? Mammoth. Mammoth's from Command and Conquer Red Alert. I'm sure it is.
Possibly, never played it.
You never played Red Alert? Really?
Yeah, it's not my kind of thing.
Alright, okay,
Never
fair.
never was, to be honest. My brother
Yeah.
used to play
Command
it.
and Conquer
I
Red
never
Alert.
played it. I know of it, and I know it's a touted as a classic game, but yeah.
Oh, dude, that tank looks so badass now. It's so 40K. It's got like 4 sets of tracks. Oh, mate, that is just like player as hell.
But yeah, that's it for questions this time round. I think, yeah, we got some
Okay.
good ones there. But, yeah, again,
Yeah,
if
thanks for those.
yeah, thank you. And if anybody else wants to submit a question, come chat to us on Discord, drop us an email. What's the email address, Wayne?
Warhammer and Wings at gmail.com.
That's the one. Or you can drop us a DM on Instagram. So yeah,
You
if you
can
got any,
find us on there at Warhammer and
you
Wings.
can. Yeah, sorry, I should have said that. You can find us anywhere on Warhammer and Wings, just not TikTok. But yeah, if anybody does have any question, just get in touch with us. You know, if you want to just have a chat, get in touch. But
I re- sorry,
go on.
sorry. I'm getting tired, so I'm overstepping the mark with you there. I really like the question parts. I think it's really good.
Yeah,
I have fun. I have fun answering those. So thank you to you guys for sending us questions. It's that was really fun. I
yeah.
enjoyed that.
Well,
More
on
like that, please.
yeah, on that note, keep them coming.
Yeah. I think there's only one more thing that I wanted to talk about, and then I am going to go to bed because I am exhausted, mate.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It is late, and we've had a pretty full on week, haven't we?
It's model of the moment,
Bottle of the
and
moment.
it's my turn.
It is. What have you got for
I
me?
couldn't, dude, I couldn't find a dramatic reading to do for this or anything at all. But you know
It's
how
a
I
good job
really
because
like.
our dramatic reader isn't here.
I know, right? God damn it! People having time away from work. I don't think I got a leave request. You know, I will be having words with her when she's back.
I'll tell her.
Um, you know how I like spider monkeys.
Oh yes, I do.
I also like space orangutans.
I think
So
I know
for
where you're
me,
going.
yep, yep, it's Jakara. They're
Jacaro.
so badass. Yeah. Um, I originally came across these. I think if I remember rightly, it was in Rogue Trader
Yeah, I don't
back in the day.
know
I know.
a lot about them, but they existed and then they didn't, and then they did again fairly recently, right? Am I right? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Fair. So fairly recent is. Mm, so
Oh,
there
really?
was the original Jakara, and they were kind of like they were retconned, I believe, um, into something slightly different to what they are. So I believe it's now canon that they were engineered by the Slan,
Fine.
old
Yeah.
ones,
Yeah.
whatever they're
Yeah.
called,
Yeah.
space lizards.
Yeah.
The space lizards engineered the space orangutans, and the space orangutans then became I think around sixth edition ish somewhere maybe. They then got retconned into or referred to as Jakaro weaponsmiths. And that might have
Yes.
been something to do with Necromunda, and that's where the Jakara digital weapons and stuff came from that some Inquisitors had
Oh,
and other bits and
okay.
pieces. So they're really badass engineers, and it's just it's dude, it's an orang. It
It's
looks
a
like King Louis. It looks like a 40K King Louis, and I would love to see an updated Jakara model. And
can
I
you
think the model's a bit derpy.
I mean, can do they still exist? Are they still on sale?
There's a fancast version of it that you could
Mm,
get. I don't know
okay.
if it's still on.
Have you ever painted one?
No,
No?
nope,
Okay.
no, never had one. I think there is one at our local, FLGS in his display cabinet.
Oh, okay.
The
Um,
ones, the blisters that aren't for sale, I think he's
yes.
got one in there. Yeah.
Ah, okay, cool. Yeah, I know you and I know you love monkeys, so this isn't a massive surprise that you've put this in there. But it's not one that I know an awful lot about. But yeah, looking at it, it's a space monkey with goggles. Like, what's not to like? Which is strange because you don't often like the humor element, and I find that quite funny. Or is it
Do you know,
is it supposed to be terrifying? I'm not sure.
there's two things I really like about this. I think that the sculpt I put in the OneNote is the newest sculpt, but I think there've been two. Um, I like how 80s fantasy it is, because there's, sorry, 80s sci-fi, because there's a couple of films from the 80s that had something very reminiscent to this, but also it straddles a line for me of, like, being rogue trader
Yeah.
rather than 40K, because I see the, I mean, I know one spawned the other, but they're very different beasts.
Mm.
But also, this particular model for me looks like something that Jim Henderson would created. It looked like it could exist in the Star Wars universe as well as the 40K universe. It could appear in, like, a number of films from that era, and I don't know, that there's just something quintessentially, like, just warming about it. It reminds me of my childhood, and
Yeah.
this is one of those things that still exists canonically in the grim dark future, where we're eating corpse starch and everything's just, like, so bleak, and that I absolutely love, and is devoid of color and humor, and that's something that I absolutely lean into. I like
Yeah.
that, but then you've got space orangutans that I just imagine are just properly happy. Just just look at him there with his freaking weapon rings on his fingers, just looking like an absolute G with his goggles on, and, just living his best life, and just engineering some stuff that's just gonna blast you to smithereens, and he's probably gonna do it while he's smashing a banana.
Can I can I tell you what it reminds me of, that picture? And this is gonna sound like a strange tangent, but there is an episode of The Simpsons, and I'm talking like classic Simpsons, not modern Simpsons, where Troy McClure, the character Troy McClure, is in a play, and it's a musical of Planet of the Apes, and that's what it reminds me of. Do you know the episode I'm talking about?
I know the episode you're talking
Yeah,
about,
I
yeah.
mean, I could sing you some of the songs, but I'm not gonna subject that to anybody that's listening, but,
Wondrous.
yeah, but, you've heard me sing, haven't you? It's not pretty. But yeah, that's what it reminds me of. You know, when Troy McClure goes, "I love you, Dr. Zaius." That's all I can see from that, but
Such
it's
a
cool.
cool
It's a space monkey, like, what's not to like? I get it.
it's so cool. It's just sweet. It is not, available for sale anymore on the main Games Workshop site.
Ah, okay, well, I'm sure you'll be able to find one if you wanted to on eBay or, yeah, through your network of rogue traders. But yeah. Yeah, I think I'd like to, do a bit more reading up on these guys and their technology, the technological side of it, is it digital weapons? Is that
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. As in finger weapons.
yeah, um, I I don't know a lot about these guys, I'm gonna move past that, but, yeah, I'd like to do a bit of research just so I've got a bit more context behind them because I'm looking at a picture of a monkey and that's making me smile, but I would like to know a bit more about
There's
them.
there's not a great deal of lore.
No, but I think there's something about, correct me if I'm wrong, their ships, their starships are quite advanced, aren't they? And
Mhm.
something different about them. So, yeah, you know me, I like to learn. I just like to absorb as much knowledge as possible. So, yeah, I'll
There's
have
a
a
little
read.
bit of back and forwards with them where they stand lore-wise, but there's
Ooh.
been nothing recently, I don't think, from the bit of research that I did, that the they kind of exist there, but they're almost, um, deliberately vague, I think, at the moment. I don't think
Okay.
that Games Workshop are too keen to revisit them or bring them back in, just because the derp factor
Yeah, they're not
being,
particularly
like,
grim dark, are they?
particularly high. Yeah, so they're just on the outskirts, the periphery, um, up there with the the flannels that fall from trees that like eat your face off. They're just amazing as well.
I'm sorry?
There's I can't remember what they're
The
called. It's like
flannels
yeah,
that
it's like
fall
a
from
flannel,
trees and eat your
yeah, and eat
face.
your face off. Yeah,
Well, when you figure out what they're called, tell me because
I
I
I I,
don't know
I
what you're
would
talking
it
about.
again. Rogue Trader
Ah,
is full of amazing shit,
interesting.
like some crocodiles, like
Ooh,
space crocodiles that go through the warp randomly and just appear and chow down on you.
chump.
They're a thing as well.
Hmm.
Just just warp crocs.
Warp crocs.
Nom, 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 nom.
It wouldn't be an episode of Warhammer and Wings without one of your sound effects there, would it? So
There's probably not going to be very many sound effects or anything else in this episode because it's
no.
going to be like cutting it fine to get it up online.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's loads of really the flannel eat your facey flannelly spally things, and the really vicious squirrels as well. Some really vicious squirrels.
Nice.
Oh man, we should do like a beastery thing where we
Oh, that's a shout.
yeah, I might just look. I need to stop doing that thing where I say the same thing like 3 times and then get to the next word, because that's annoying me in the edit, and I can't be bothered to take them all out in this one, so
Yeah.
it's there.
We'll let
That's
you.
me,
We'll let you.
guys. It's an idiosyncrasy.
To be fair, this
Um,
this has been a bit more of a casual chat, hasn't it, than the normal
I've
structure
enjoyed
that
it
we
though.
have. Yeah, I think it's nice to not have a strict an agenda, and I suppose we did talk about the releases on the release day, and that's kind of been shoehorned in around this conversation. So yeah, well, let us know what you think to this as a format. If you like us sort of rambling and just having a bit more of a free form conversation, let us know.
Absolutely, and I would very much like to explore some of the various books and perhaps throw some of the random stuff that I've been learning
Sounds good to me.
lore-wise just your way. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think there'd be some quite fun ones that are
Yeah.
like
Okay.
face flannels that are eating from trees.
Yeah. Well, get thinking on that because that sounds really good to me.
I'll do my best. I may dream about them tonight. No, you never know. You
I
never know.
I hope you do.
And on that note, shall we wrap it up there? Because we've been talking for quite a while now. I think this is going to be about 2.5 hours, I reckon.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's about in our wheelhouse, isn't it? But yeah, it's getting late.
Yeah,
We've both had long weeks. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this one, guys. It's probably going to sound a little different because we are remote for this part. So bear with us on that. But yeah, get in touch with us on Discord, Instagram, where to find us. But thanks for listening.
indeed. We'll catch you all on the next one. Until then, see ya.
Goodbye.